Man. What the hell is going on? What's the word? What's the word, man? My fault for being late, bro. I'm trying to make sure my shit's straight, bro. I had to try to start doing it. I got to start doing it this way, bro. I tried to download OBS tonight. That what really took me so long. I was trying to figure out how OBS go. You know what I'm saying? So I had came on screen, y'all. But we gonna basically gonna have to be on this now because YouTube, the way I'm doing it on the phone, they like it, but at the same time, by me still have to turn my camera around. You know what I'm saying? This kind of make it look like this my own content. You feel me? So I'm gonna have to start coming to it this way doing. What's up with the John, bro? My fault for taking so long, guy. I was trying to get everything straight up, bro. What's up with the John? Okay. My fault for taking so long, guy. Okay, I see my audio straight. I had to make sure my audio was straight. Yeah, we could get into it tonight, man. I put the bank came on live. I put the bank came on, but I was trying to get everything set up. What's up with a wacko? Texas 254. What's up with it, gang? Yeah, we finna get up into it, bro. Appreciate everybody who up in the build. Hey, now before I get started, bro, I want to know like why Charleston White trying to point the finger at the mob ties rapper lights. Why he ain't pointed at the Candace Matthews woman, bro? I had to really think about it, bro, because I'm gonna keep it a book. It was her birthday party. Y'all was there at her building. Y'all was there at the Mob Ties building, bro. She knew it was Mob Ties establishment, and you still came. Like, if anything, why she not getting questioned? Why she wasn't the one who sought everything up? Why I gotta be Jay Prince? Cause you came out and said you didn't know where you was going until you got there. Then you seen Jay Prince on the wall. Then you like, oh well, it was for my homegirl Candace Matthews, her birthday. So I'm like, all right, bet then. Why you ain't questioning, asking her what's going on? Why this happened? Like, if you knew we were going over here and there's problems, why you got me over here? That's the question that I got, bro. That's what got me thinking, like, is that woman playing both sides, gang? Like, is she playing both sides with Mob Ties and Charleston White? Because you gotta talk to the people who own the business, you know what I'm saying? So, like, what's she doing? Hey, I appreciate the 5 people we got up in the build. We for to get to it. And shout out to my boy Stingy K. This is content tonight, bro. We for to rock out with it and we for to see what's going on. What's up with it, Mama Williams? What's up with it, man? We for to get to it. And I'm gonna have to transition over on this mo because on the phone they've been blocking a whole lot of my videos, taking my videos and stuff because they basically saying like I'm not reusing content, but the YouTube ID shit is picking it up like I am because I couldn't have to flip the camera over and shit. So we're gonna try to be over here. We're gonna be over here more. Tonight we're gonna be on Scream, y'all, but we're gonna be on OBS. That's a free platform, so I won't have to be paying for this shit. Cause I was finna go and pay for it, but I don't know. I'm gonna see. I might still pay for it, but we're gonna rock out and see what's going on. Let's get to it. Appreciate everybody who up in the building, man. Hey, this first video right here supposed to be Charleston White claiming that somebody supposed to have been broke up in his house. All this shit he just been coming up with every day, like making it seem like Mob Ties doing this. So we checking this out, bro, and then we gonna take a reverse and go back in time and see what's going on. This is gonna be probably like a 2 hour 15 minute, 2 hour 30 minute live. I gotta take my son to his artistic program in the morning, so I gotta be up early. But we finna get to it. Yeah, that ain't me. That's on them. That's them. That's them. That ain't me. That's them. I guess they fast forward and everything. That ain't me. That's them. I guess this stingy doing it, but y'all see the outside of the crib on how he doing everything. The non-speaking English pool guy was caught breaking into my house. He was caught on the neighbor's surveillance camera the pool guy works for and was the only person seen arriving to my house and leaving at the same time. I left the doctor. The fake relative was the only person who knew and had information about my doctor appointment.
Man, nigga, ain't nobody scared of them.
Hey, I guess that was them started replaying that shit like that. I just fast forwarded because we already seen what's going on. So let's get to it, bro. I appreciate everybody who rocking out with me.
Jay Prince ran to me.
Man, nigga, ain't nobody scared of them.
I'm saying like what? But like where does that come from?
Because somebody asked the question. We not afraid of Jay Prince up here in Dallas. He ain't had no influence up here. His sons, none of that. Mine right there, they come through and try to do something. We some big dogs up here. Nah, homie jumped on it big down now.
Hey, shout out to my boy Stingy K, man. Shout out to Stingy K. Stingy K, I'm gonna use some of your clips tonight, bro. We're gonna see what's going on. Whenever y'all get time, go subscribe to my dog, bro. We're gonna see what's going on though, cause I got a lot of questions about this, bro. To me, it's deeper than Mob Ties and Rap A Lot Records. Who really lined this up? Because if you would have never went to this Candace Matthews woman birthday party that was up in Dallas, Fort Worth, Texas, you would never had this problem, bro. Just think about it, Charleston. You knew what came with it by you going to that party, what she was at. You knew what a party was at, bro. Because you done came out plenty of times and say Mob Ties and Rap A Lot, they don't run Texas. They don't run nothing. They don't run nothing. So how you ain't know where you was at? They keep it real. How you didn't know? Because I know for sure if I put an address in the GPS, bro, it's going to show me where I'm going. It's going to show me everything around. What's up with the Kimberly? What's up with everybody in the building? It's going to show me everything I need to know, bro. So if I know I'm going in Watts or Compton somewhere, it's gonna let me know the name of all the streets that's around the location I'm going to. That's how man, bro. I'm telling you, I think there was a play. I ain't saying like this stuff fake, cause it's we see now that it ain't fake. Allegedly, they saying that it came from Mob Ties away. But what I'm trying to see is how is this Candace Matthews woman not getting questioned? Because it was at her birthday party where she knew that the building was owned by Mob Ties, Rap A Lot Records, bro. You cannot tell me she didn't know that, bro. Come on, bro. And she probably got a discount for even throwing her party just because she probably know Jay Prince now. We don't know how much these folks, we don't know how close these folks is to Mob Ties or Rap A Lot. We don't, bro. Only thing we know that Charleston White saying that it's smoke. He got real issues with these folks. He a community activist that's beefing with street dudes. But most community activist people, police, sheriffs, they be knowing people who from their hometown, bro. She knew that building was owned by Jay Prince. She lured Charleston White up there. That's what I'm trying to say. See, Charleston White trying to point the finger at Mob Ties and Rap A Lot. Now you need to point the finger at that woman, your so-called best friend, Candace Matthews. Because if like you went to her shit, if she would have told you the truth of where you was going, then it would have been fair game. But you went to her little get together, bro. So how you don't know where you was going? But let's get to it, bro. I appreciate everybody who up in the building. Let's get to it.
White posts alleged break-in footage, and he calls out Jay Prince Jr. And also, he exposed some new evidence about 30,000 that Santana, the guy who allegedly backdoored Charleston White for Jay Prince, that had his house broken into, is basically saying that he came for that 30K because he knew exactly where it was when Charleston White left with him to the comedy show. So,
Oh, okay. I see what's going on, Kimberly. Okay. You said come to find out her birthday party was 4 days before that. There was a political event and they wanted Charleston to get pressed so he can get charged, so he can get a charge on him and get them put up in jail. Okay. Okay. Now I see what it is. It's starting to make sense now, bro. Cause I'm like, bro, there is no way impossible that this man didn't know where he was going, bro. Like you just can't sit up here and tell me you didn't know where you was going. We finna get into it, bro. And shout out to everybody who up in the building, bro. Appreciate everybody who in the building.
make sure y'all hit that like button. Now, before we get into the shocking evidence that Charleston White just presented, I want to break down this clip so you guys could get a clearer understanding on why this angle is how it is. Now, I want you guys to pay attention because Charleston White didn't have no cameras at his house. His neighbor across the street had cameras. So what I need y'all to do is pay attention to this clip real closely so you can see what's going on. You see those people right here? This truck in front of Charleston White's house. So the neighbor was watching it the whole time.
We got an ad coming, but we finna get into it. Hey, bro, this video just got dropped today. So this is not an old clip. This song that just got dropped today, bro. We finna see what's going on, bro. And I appreciate everybody who up in the building, bro. Shout out to my boy Angie K.
Was looking for that 30,000 that Charleston White. So I just have to show y'all the footage before we break down what Charleston White said. And he sent an encrypted message back at Jay Prince. Now, what Charleston White posted was the non-speaking English pool guy was caught breaking into my house. He was caught because this is the neighbor's footage. He says, he was caught on my neighbor's surveillance cameras. The pool guy works for and was the only person seen arriving to my house and leaving at the same time I left the doctor. He tagged Santana and said the fake realtor was the only person who knew and had information about my doctor's appointment. He was looking for that bag of cash and he said 30K before we left it for my comedy show. So Charleston White is basically saying that dude been peeping him, watching him, and he seen where he put that money at, and that's what they was looking for. Now, what I need you to do is let me know. Is Charleston?
All right, before we get into it, Charleston, is this the new house? Nah, this the new one, Mama Williams. This supposed to be the new house. All right, now Charleston White. This should be a lesson learned, bro. This should be a valuable lesson that you need to stop showboating, bro. Stop showing off so much. Oh, you fancy, huh? Oh, you fancy, huh? You fabulous. Air done, nail done, everything. Nail done, everything. You think you fabulous? You think you switch beats? No, gang. You doing too much showboating. You showboating too much. Now look what happened. Nigga could have broke up in your house. Who knows? Your kids could have been in the house. Your wife could have been in the house. All because you want to showboat for the internet. Letting too many niggas around, see shit, want to showboat. Yeah, man, I'm living life off the internet, man. I'm getting money off the internet. You want to show too much. That's something I had to learn, bro. You don't show everything, bro. You just show what you want motherfucker to see. You tell a person what you want them to know. You don't tell them everything unless you just really trust them and rock with them. But other than that, you doing too much. So you been doing all this stuff up on Jay Prince, trying to do the internet, trying to buy a house here, do this, do this, do this. Now you caught slipping. You moving too fast, gang. You down there 50. You doing too much, nigga. Sit your old ass down somewhere. Yeah, let's get to it. Shout out to my boy Stingy K, right?
White running the play for content, or is this serious?
What's up with
But
the feet
let's get
feed?
into it because he has
What's
sent
up
an
with the feet feed?
encrypted message to Jay Prince after coming online saying that there's a Rico on the way and he just left the FBI. So someone commented on Charleston White's YouTube video that he sent to Jay
What's up
Prince
with the Larry
and
Ball
said,
out?
what you all can learn from Charleston White is fear is the only thing.
What's up with everybody who up in the building, man? We finna get to it. I'm finna see what's going on. I'm finna try to see, can I really put this shit together to see really did Jay Prince have something to do with this, and just see what's going on, bro. Because I don't care what Charleston White saying, bro. I don't feel like that came from mob ties, bro. It didn't come from mob ties. It didn't come from the daddy, bro. I don't even think they came from the pops. Didn't they say mob ties is a street gang? They street dudes, ain't it? So they had to be some hood shit, in-house shit, bro. You can't just put that on mob ties in the old. You can't put that on no gang. I just can't see dude doing it and jeopardizing what he got going on with all them people right there, bro. Look how long Jay Prince been doing what he doing, whatever he been doing. Why would he slip up and do that just because this his first time catching? This ain't his first time bumping into Charleston White or knowing Charleston White location. Come on, bro. Like we gotta think, bro. This is man. I don't know, bro. We for see. I'm for the see. We for to see what's going on.
Stopping us from getting
Shout out to everybody who up in the building, man.
what we all collectively needed in life. Charleston White doesn't fear his own people. Say what you want about his character. He is only a few out of millions who is fearless of the ignorance of his people. Salute to him. Salute to Act for not having no picks. Now, Charleston White posted that and he said this under it. And this is what Charleston White had to say to Jay Prince after he posted that. He said, I stayed 3 hours in Fifth Ward having fun and I wasn't in no rush to leave. They were in a rush for me to go. As Jay Prince, Punk, and or my girl, Candace Matthews, who personally invited me to the Nickel, Fifth Ward. Tagged Actor Dennis.
Okay, what he just said? He said, or my girl, Candace Matthews, who personally invited me to the Nickel, Fifth Ward. Academics just dropped the actual footage of mob ties trying to intimidate me and bully me to apologize to James in front of the good old Dr. Matthews. Now you see what he said? Mob ties. They ain't saying James Prince sent them to do anything, bro. You just trying to implicate, bro, and trying to make a Rico come up, gang. There's no proof that this dude pressed you in any type of way. He sent the phone call. Hey, y'all go handle it. Charleston White down there, go handle it and send a message to him. It's too much of a risk. This is a political event. This woman's birthday and shit, like, bro, it's too much of a risk, gang. It's too much for mob ties to even move like that. And if they did this, niggas is getting sloppy nowadays, bro. If they did do this, bro, they really getting sloppy, bro. Cause look how long y'all been doing what y'all been doing. And how is y'all gonna let Charleston White make y'all slip up like that? A nigga who just running his mouth on the internet. He got his own opinion, just like we got our own opinion. He got his own. See, I'm starting to learn how this internet thing go. That's why you see I don't even entertain the niggas who be trolling, which they done stopped, but sometimes they'll still try to do it, but I don't entertain them, because everybody got their own opinion. You just entertain it if it's worth entertaining. If it's worth your time, then you pay it some attention. And it look like this mob tie thing is worth Charleston White time. That's why he's paying it a lot of attention. Because his name is all through the algorithm now. Not everybody want to speak up on what's going on.
Image just dropped the actual footage of mob trying to intimidate me and bullied me to apologize to James right in front of good Dr. Matthews. Now, Charleston White posted this right here, and under it, he says, when the FBI Houston, he tagged the FBI, catch Jay Prince and Jay Prince Jr. because they've been getting away for a while. Somebody commented on there and said, what if they catch you? Yeah, man. This ain't looking too good. Charleston White basically saying that he put the peoples on them, and that's what's gonna happen. Charleston White then posted this and said, he posted this an hour ago and said, on my way back to Houston, Texas to meet with law enforcement officials and political operatives. At this point, this shooting happened at a Democratic event. Phone records will seal this case. He tagged the Republican Party. He tagged the Texas GOP. He tags Governor Rabbit. He tags Donald Trump. He tags Rep Huffman, Jay Prince, Candace Matthews, Vlad, Sean Mike Kelly, Say Cheese. He tagged everybody. And this may not turn out too good for somebody.
Hey, I'm just asking y'all a question. Is it playing straight or is it lagging, bro? Like, is it lagging or is it playing straight? You know, I ask that every time I get on screen, y'all. I gotta ask that because it be showing different on my phone. So I'm just trying to make sure it ain't lagging on y'all or no shit like that. Like, is any of this shit right here lag?
Now the question is, who do you think it won't turn out too good for? So before we break down this clip, I want to explain the reason why Charleston White posted this.
How to form your LLC? It's called
Oh, we got an ad that came up right quick. All right, we back up on it. Hey, y'all let me know if it lagging or not so I know.
Yeah, Pimp C.
Now, I ain't really catch what you said about Pimp C.
Yeah, you snort cocaine. Yeah, you snort. Everybody know that. He talked about he used to play with his nose.
Yeah.
That ain't no opinion. That's truth and facts.
Okay. Now, what exactly did you say about
He
it?
used to snort cocaine.
That's all you said?
Yeah.
Okay, for sure. But I did see the mob ties in the Jay Prince ran too, bro.
Man, ain't nobody scared of them.
I'm saying like what, but like where did that come from? Where does that come from?
Because somebody asked the question. We not afraid of Jay Prince up here in Dallas. Homie, he ain't had no influence up here. His sons, none of that. Mine right there, they come through and try to do something. We some big dogs up here. Nah, homie, them only big down now.
Damn, you say it's like slow motion? That shit crazy. I don't even see how it's doing that. But my fucking internet been tweaking all fucking day. So you know, you saying since I started, it been lagging? Damn, what the fuck? Slow motion. She said it's lagging.
Mob ties don't exist up here because when the police kill some words, mob ties. When we need murder solved in the community and these niggas babies, where is mob ties? When the women is getting beat and raped, where is mob ties, homie? Where's mob ties for the community program? Mob ties. Harder we working for these kids up here. Don't bring no mob ties up to me. Them don't do a thing. For around here, it's a nation, been here since the 60s. We don't give a fuck about no Jay Prince. He ain't never been able to reach his arms up here and help no with no music career. Stay his ass in Houston.
This shit crazy, bro. I don't know why it be doing it. And YouTube is trying to force me to come on screen, y'all. And every time I do it, it be lagging and shit. And I'm like, bro, I'm paying these people like 160 a month. I guess because you're not vertical tonight. I really don't know, bro. Maltese ain't got nothing to do with what he talking about. Yeah, I'm already knowing. Yeah, the video slow motion, but the words clear. That's why I was like, bro, what is the? I don't know, bro. I don't know, cause every time I come on the phone, shit, they hit my ass every time. Like not every time, but majority of the time. Like a week later, they'll come back up. You can't use it. It ain't reused content, but you know you gotta have it like this. I'm like, God damn. And only thing I can say, bro, is I don't think I can do it in this live right here and just come back where we left off it. I had to run it on my phone if it's lagging like this, cause I don't know why it's doing this shit, bro. I got the Ethernet cord plugged up to this bitch and everything. Like I just really don't know why this shit be lagging. I couldn't tell y'all why this shit doing it. I just really don't know. This shit crazy, bro.
I'm in his boys. So now, my
I mean, so you feel like Jay Prince needs to help more?
man, Jay Prince keep doing what the he doing. I'm telling y'all, Jay Prince don't run shit in Dallas. Mob ties is just some bullshit. It ain't no mob ties. Them Italians got the mob. Don't know got no mob. Them just talking Italian Geechee talk. Them ain't no real mobsters. Them ain't never stood up for the black race. Hollering about that shit.
I don't know, bro. Hey, another note you said the girl was dating one of them guys in the Nolan case. Yeah, it came out. They said that she was talking to a doctor or some shit, wasn't it? Like a professor or some shit like that, if I'm not mistaken. But man, hey, I don't know, bro. I swear to God, I don't know because it looked like when I don't play the video, everything's showing clear, like everything's showing straight. So I don't know if I could try to let the audio play in the background or what, cause I don't know what the hell they got going on, bro. They've been horning me, they've been playing with me, they've been doing some crazy shit, gang. Like real talk. That's the only thing I can say, bro. If we can hear good though. Yep, that's the only thing I can say, love. If I just try to let it play in the background and cause I really don't know. Like I don't know, like shit, nigga. Like nigga, I'm paying a lot of money. Shit. I ain't gonna give you bitches no $200-300. No shit like that. That shit like another bill. That 160 already another bill. That shit crazy, bro.
Italians, bro. Them can't do nothing. Them pick
What's
on the
up with it,
weed.
DJ?
Them sons beat up girls, homie. Beat up strippers. So I ain't saying they ain't gotta help her. We don't need their help. I've been in Stop 6 putting it down for 10 years. We don't need them up here. They don't run up here. That's what I'm saying. And anybody think they do is a lie. I'm saying that on your station.
Nah, for sure. That's how you.
Ties run the whole Texas. Mob ties suck tail run. You talking about how the fuck mob ties run something and got to call the police when mama and them need help? How do mob ties run something? When Sandra Bland got killed by that white boy state trooper, mob ties were suffer.
Hey, no cap, I don't know what the hell going on, bro. I swear. I really don't know what the fuck is none of this shit going on, why it's doing it. Like, my nigga. Hold on. Okay, let me see something right quick. All right, hold on. Let me see something right quick. I think I know what it is. He talked too much. Hold on. We finna see what's up. Let me drop this down. What's up with the Maryland gang? What's up with it, Brody? Hold on. Okay, so this on Edge. All right, so why the fuck was this shit on Edge then?
Every time the police kill it, here go mob ties. When a chain get took, give a mob tie. Say, give him back his chain. Police know what mob tie do.
Okay, y'all. I don't like how this gonna have to work, bro. I'm gonna have to find a video where it's less of the video and it's more talking. Because I promise you guys, I don't know what the fuck is this. Like normally my shit don't never do this shit, bro. Like what the fuck is this? This shit crazy. Then when I try to run it on the phone, boy, them folk gonna be on timing. Like for real, they gonna be trying to scrape. They been on it lately. Hold on. Let's see something right here, man. Hey, I appreciate everybody who up in the building. I promise you, I really don't know what the hell this shit is, bro. I don't, bro. Excuse me. Let me see, can I find one? I think I can find something to it. Cause I don't know why they horn a nigga like that, bro. Then that mean I'm gonna have to change my title. I'm gonna have to do all this. Like, bro, what the fuck? Let me go see. Let me see what this nigga here got, bro. Cause this is throwing me out, gang. See, he ain't been saying nothing about Jay Prince. That's why I thought Dewberry was gonna say something about the Jay Prince situation. I'm trying to see. I know it's somebody who do content like that, bro. I just can't. I can't really. I don't want to, cause you know my title say one thing, bro, and I don't want to have to play nothing else because I know how I can play one of this Casino for Life videos where he talking about some shit. He talking in the background, so you know what I'm saying. But it's a video, and he speaking facts about the truth about a whole lot of stuff. Because this is throwing me out, bro. Like no cap. This whole thing right here is throwing me off, bro. Which I don't know why. I can't lie. But we finna get into it, bro.
Imagine
I don't know what the
anything.
fuck this shit is. Why this shit doing this. On the phone, they go to doing whole shit.
Man, let me tell you like
Let's
this.
go, bro.
They try to put a lot of governors on all of us, meaning the people that you see here, they try to put governors on us to where it's only about who we know, who we're part of, and our situation. Now, let's take, for instance, all of the things that we see in front of us that we don't understand. What does it mean?
Hey, I appreciate everybody who's still up in the live, bro. Anybody that new come in the chat, I'm gonna type it up in the chat and pin it at the top of the live. So when you come in, you'll know that it's tripping. I can't play the video, but Carsino, this video right here is about celebrities who got banned that they didn't tell you about. You know what I'm saying? So he got a couple videos on here that I rock with bro content because he know a whole lot about the Diddy situation. He know about Floyd's situation. He know a whole lot about just the entertainment world, period. Because you know he in that realm. He also do content with Kwame Brown. You know him and Kwame Brown is into it with Gills Arenas, and they got good content going on over there. So we finna see what's going on, or I can pull up the more I can let y'all hear the that's what I'm gonna do. Cause it's not a video, I can pull up the Morgan Freeman stuff. So he got a lot of videos where he just talking and he got the picture playing right here. So you know it wouldn't be too bad because I wanted to run some of his content tonight, gang. But I don't know what made me didn't do it, but we finna get to it, bro. We finna get to it. I think this is it right here, the real Morgan Freeman. Alright. We finna get to it.
Chicken bacon ranch, Zaxby style. Chicken.
Alright, then, bet. Hey, Felicia, I'm gonna make me another page then, bro. Or I'm gonna start doing more Carsino and Kwame Brown content because I didn't know you like. Because I know a lot of people, they probably ain't aware of Carsino and Kwame Brown. Like they talking about Gills Arenas, LeBron, the sports, media, movies. They be talking about some stuff over there in Carsino. He know a lot of people. So since I know, at least I got one person in here that know that he got some good content, and if people stick over here and just listen and rock out with it, I can start running Carsino content. I can do that because I do listen to bro content. Like Most Hated Blogger, he got some good content. Appreciate that gift to my boy Ty. Appreciate that, Ty. What's up with it, gang? We finna get up in the building, man. I tried to run the Charleston White stuff. They playing. They wouldn't even let me do it with the video, so it's glitching. So tonight we finna run this the Carsino about the Morgan Freeman. The truth about the Morgan Freeman, man. Appreciate them gifts, Ty. Appreciate them gifts, my boy. Appreciate you. Shout out to my boy Ty, man. Before we get into it.
I don't know if I ever make this video for YouTube. So If you ever watching this on YouTube, it's probably been on Patreon for a long time.
Appreciate that, Ty. What's up with it, Ty
But
gang? What's up with it,
let's
bro?
go through it, man. Morgan Freeman.
Man, coolin', man.
Morgan.
Hey, coolin', bro. They were playing with the channel tonight, so tonight we gonna come with some original like Byron Blake like content, cause this the type of content he make. I wanted to try to do this way at first, where you just got the picture up and you talking in the background, speaking your opinion. I've been watching Carcino since like 2016. Oh, okay, then we on the same level then. Yeah, we on the same level then. Okay, then you know, like I know, he got some good content then. I appreciate you, Felicia, for just vouching that if people tap in, it would be some. I'm gonna play like different content, so cause this video right here like 40 minutes, so we finna get into it, man. Yeah, and we got content on like just different stuff that he rock with, bro.
What could we say about Morgan Freeman that hasn't already been said about him? You know, when you think of greatness, you think of Morgan Freeman. You think of all the work he's done in Hollywood. You think of all the movie roles, but you don't think about is the dark side of the man. Now, many of you don't remember him from the electric company that used to come on PBS. You know, that's where he got his start. And he really didn't like playing that role. He didn't really like being on the show. He got into it a lot with staff. He would go out, smoke a cigarette, and try to just say, hey, it's work. Let's get through it. It was only when he did a show called Street Smart, a film with Christopher Reeve interviewing him as a pimp. This got rave reviews, standout performance by Morgan Freeman.
Hey,
Now,
shout out to everybody who up in the building, man.
For us, it was just one project.
Shout out to everybody who up in the building, bro. If you see the title was on the screen, that's why I got it sitting right up on my face right here, bro. The video is tripping, so we had to run something else. You know what I'm saying? I apologize about that. I don't know why, but I got to rock with Carcino tonight because when I try to run the Charleston White content, the video on the lag. I don't know why it's doing it, but I appreciate everybody who's still in the building rocking out with me. This right here is about Morgan Freeman, though. For people who haven't heard or don't know about Morgan Freeman or past dealings that he got away with. Let's get to it.
But for Morgan Freeman, this was opening a lot of doors for him, whereas earlier work was pretty much, you know, what they would call a non-factor.
What's up with the DJ guy?
What if I told you that the moment your
They
book is
tripping, bro.
published,
But you know I'm still gonna produce something good to y'all. I'm still gonna try my best to produce something good. We gonna get to it, bro.
Now, Morgan was an avid reader, always doing theater, loved theater, and had a voice that was unique. It was powerful, but clear.
Boy, sound like God.
Heavy,
Morgan Freeman.
but clear. Had its own draw to it. But at the same time, while he's doing these performances, he's drinking.
If grandma just knew though, cause this story this story for to get crazy. What's up with the Darrell, bro? Yeah, this story for to get crazy though, because I was a fan on too, but at the same time, Morgan Freeman was a motherfucker. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm gonna let Carcino tell it because he for to get to it now. And like I said, my fault about the title being what it is, gang. They tripping on the video. I couldn't run the video, so I had to run something else. But I know if you know what I'm saying. This something I know. I rock with Carcino content. And he got over millions, billions of views. He been on YouTube a long time. He like one of the 4 founders on YouTube about the truth about knowing all the truth about Tupac, Biggie, and all this stuff here. He got it. He just really don't do videos. He mostly talk about the situation up in it. But we finna get up into it, bro.
He's smoking. Not a concern. Now, once he played the street hustler in that Christopher Reeve movie, and then he did Clean and Sober with Michael Keaton. That wasn't a really blockbuster hit, but Clean and Sober opened up a lot of doors for him. So when Lean on Me came around, that really was a standout starring performance for him, which opened doors to the movie Glory and Driving Miss Daisy.
That man played in a lot of movies, bro.
Which black people gave him a lot of hard time and slack over Driving Miss Daisy after playing Joe Clark. But this was Morgan Freeman. He has appeared in more films than any man living today. Yep, Morgan Freeman. He stayed busy. He was either voice acting or acting in a lot of these films. Now, the thing that gets me is people never knew Morgan Freeman is a very powerful man in the industry. People don't think that because he stays quiet. He normally stays out of sight, but he's a powerful man. And what people don't really understand is that him
That's what I
and
think
his
that
best
means.
friend, Danny Glover, one of his close friends, they are...
Hey, that's what I think that mean, Felicia. Oh, dirty bastard. I think that's what that mean. I think that's what that mean. Don't care.
synonymous with doing what they feel is right. You would think Morgan Freeman is hanging out with all the brothers 24/7, and he's not that. You know, Morgan Freeman is more different than what you would probably think he would be. He hangs out mostly with his lawyer, and you know, they both live in Mississippi.
I told y'all.
They don't stay that far away from each other. Morgan Freeman owns probably the second largest amount of land in Mississippi, period. Owns a large piece of land in Mississippi.
Hey, y'all remember I was telling y'all that? I was like, man, Morgan Freeman, he be down here, bro. Him and Brett Favre, you'll bump into these niggas if you at the right place at the right time. But he own a lot of land down here because it's cheap. You know, he got millions, multi-millions. So this nigga can own the whole county if he want to. He probably do.
regardless of what they say his net worth is, he has a lot of money. But he also has a lot of power. And while he first was starting out acting, he was married to his wife, Jeanette Bradshaw. And she got to see that Morgan was not the guy she needs to be married to. Arguing, fighting, accusations of cheating. And of course, you know, they split. Phil, they married too soon. So they divorced after about 13 years of marriage. Then he finds Myrna. And they started, you know, dating and eventually married. Now, once he married Myrna or whatever.
Here's how I got my contacts for free using my vision insurance
Damn,
benefits.
man, this shit was just finna get good. I'm finna see what's going on here, bro.
Things started to change. And she started to see Morgan is a control freak. He likes things done his way and his way only. There was never any inklings to like say, oh, well, we're going to go this route because this is what this person wants or that's what that person's want. They didn't care. No one cared. So as Morgan went along, his violent outbursts is something that no one ever reported on. Grabbing his wife by the throat, threatening, throwing things, throwing tantrums. This was overlooked, never reported, blown by. Financial abuse, verbal abuse, all of these things were coming to the table. So when Lean on Me comes out, and then you do Driving Miss Daisy in the same year, and you get your Academy Award nomination for it, that opened up the doors for him.
Yeah, he finna get to that, Felicia. I was trying to change the title of my live while I'm live right now, but I'm gonna find out how to do it, bro. Because like I said, I wanted to run the Charleston White shit, bro, but it was tweaking. When I say it was tweaking, gang, the video tweaking, it won't let me do nothing. So I'm gonna make sure, you know what I'm saying. But when soon I end this live tonight, that I go change the title into like random live, random topics or some shit like that. Cause it won't let me do it while I'm live right now. I wish I could, cause I sure would do it, but cause it been tripping, bro. I don't know why I've been tripping all day, bro. But we finna get to it, man. Cause it won't let me play no video for some odd reason. It wanna go to lag. Wanna go to lag, but we finna get to it, man. Appreciate everybody. Wack 100 is in line about coffee. Yeah, we had already played it. Yeah, in the short, I think the short other video that you had some of that link, we had already played where he had came on the Rudy Report. Then when I was telling people, you know what I'm saying, like, nah, wait, he wasn't lying. He had talked to them folks. You know what I'm saying? At first, I was just like, man, we gonna see what's going on. But yeah, I had seen that Wack one line in there.
And then when Clint Eastwood come and does The Unforgiven, Morgan Freeman's on the top of the list in 92. So his second wife came right before things started to blow up and take off for him. Now he isn't this violent man anymore. He used to get drunk, smoke cigarettes heavily. Now he smokes occasionally,
Okay.
but he's gotten himself under control because he's not as angry anymore. He's got success. He's busy. He's working. So while he's making all of these moves and he's having all of this success, his ex-wife said that we need to have a talk. And the conversation was about their situation that they had prior. And said, we need to talk about, our situation here, as his wife, Jeanette, had a daughter that's not related to Morgan Freeman. But
You heard what he said, right? He finna get into it, bro. He finna get into that bad car accident you were talking about, Felicia. He finna get into all that in this one video right here, and he finna tell everything how Morgan Freeman, we're gonna say allegedly, bro, he was in love with his granddaughter. He was in love with this girl, bro. That shit crazy, ain't it, bro? I wanna know why they ain't. Okay. I show like, what the fuck? Yeah, we finna get into it though, bro.
that was considered his daughter. That was his stepdaughter. So what happened is his stepdaughter had a child, and the child, that's why she reached out to Morgan to take care and raise the child, named Dina after her mother, Adina Hines. So Adina Hines.
Okay, I see you, Darrell, up in the comments. I reading everything up in the comments, and as I was listening, bro, you know what I'm saying? Okay. Yeah, Rallo and them niggas, they don't think that, though. They swerving down, meat snitch, let Rallo and them and all them other dudes, 50 Cent them tell it. I don't know why 50 Cent come out and say that, but we gonna see what's going on, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, you heard that right, Felicia's granddaughter
Was adopted by Morgan Freeman and his wife, Myrna, so that they can raise her.
Hey, if you knew up in the building, bro, I couldn't run the Charleston White shit because my video was lagging. What's up with the problem, child? I couldn't run the Charleston White stuff because if I play the video, it's gonna lag, and I don't know what make it start doing it. And I ain't been on my computer in a minute, but I got this right here, some Casino clips. I think I got some more people who run content like this where they got the picture playing, they talking in the background. But we're gonna see what's going on. But I know if you just stick around, if you just want to rock out and just hear something that you probably ain't never just was aware of, you about to hear, because I know Casino, he ain't finna just come up here and make up no type of false narratives on nobody. He never did it before. Like, he was the first ones, like, on YouTube. Like, this might have been on YouTube for a long time. He can drag the hell out. That's the only, hey, Mama Williams. That's the only thing I hate. That's the only thing I hate about his content. Like he tell good stories, but boy, he gonna drag. It's like I don't know why, but he does that, bro. I swear he does that. Like he just holding out. Like he does that, man. Shit, I hate that
So the
clip from
only
my
person
video,
she
man.
knew around her was Morgan Freeman. Morgan has his daughter, Morgana, that he took to the Academy Awards. And when he was first nominated, took his daughter, Morgana, to the awards with him. And the thing about Morgan Freeman is he got older in age, but his mind, and he never wanted to get old and live like an old man.
Oh yeah, I'm already knowing Darrell. That nigga wicked.
So things was crazy. It was completely crazy. Now, Morgan was one of the most powerful men in Hollywood. And his attorney, who happened to be very powerful in the state of Mississippi, cleans up a lot of Morgan's messes. This man has the A-list of A-lists of attorneys, top notch. After raising his granddaughter for all of these years, there was a brief separation between Morgan Freeman and his second wife, as she allegedly catches Morgan basically having sex with his then adopted granddaughter, Dina, which causes her to go hysterical
Allegedly.
and going off.
Allegedly, bro.
Morgan admits to this to her, allegedly.
Thank you.
He admits that he was doing this, but felt he was in the right. God damn it. Listen, I'm not going to explain myself to you. I don't have to. I've raised it. And if anybody's going to take care of it, it's going to be me.
That boy impersonation on point. I damn near thought that was Morgan Freeman for a minute. I about to say, what the hell? That Morgan Freeman? But that's Carcino dude with the impersonation, man. Hey, let's get to it, bro. Shit.
It's only with love and care. So Morgan didn't care about any of the bad press. That didn't matter to him. You can forget that. He didn't care what it looked like. Morgan was happy. The problem with Morgan is he was going through what him and Harrison Ford was doing at the same time, was going through a midlife crisis. But they act like they weren't. They didn't want to grow up. The older Morgan.
All right. Hey. Now, you heard what Carcino said about he admitted to his wife what he was doing to the adopted granddaughter. Now, mind you, remember Shalonda Price. Remember Shalonda Price? Charleston White cousin. Remember, I told y'all family members would sweep certain stuff under the rug. What we just heard Carcino just said. Morgan got caught and he admitted to his wife what was going on. He felt like he went wrong. They never pressed charges, never told the police or none of that. That's a prime example, bro. That could be the same thing that happened with Charleston White cousin, Shalonda Price. Like, it could be the same thing, bro. I'm telling you, we finna get to it, bro. Appreciate everybody for going through this with me tonight, bro. I don't know how this happened because I hate to play the video on y'all and it's lagging, but you can hear the audio clip. I don't know what's going on, bro. I just wish this nigga didn't talk so fucking slow. Let me see, can I try to speed this nigga up? Like, can I speed this shit up? Yeah, let me see something, cuz. Let me see something, my boy.
Where he wanted to be. He went back to drinking heavy, smoking. Then he gets into a car accident while he was out with Bill Luckett, his lawyer, who he hangs out with all the time. They're at his house, and Luckett invites this lady to come over to the house. Now, she's there.
You see, I had to speed it up, bro. Okay, now we good, y'all. Now we good. I had to speed it up to like 1.15. I had to speed up the play. So now all that little dry shit, if it'll be straight, audio gonna play through. We ain't gotta worry about this nigga taking 3 minutes just to say one word, and he's saying some shit what niggas want to hear, but damn, so I just sped it up. Yeah, we good now, bro.
To hook up with Morgan Freeman. That's a job. So Freeman hits Luckett up like, yo, I'm in the mood tonight. Put the party together at your house. I'll come down there, drive to your house, and then I'll hang out there. And you go through the list. Oh, yeah, the one you showed me the picture of? Yes, huh? Make sure she's there. Yeah, I'm going to be over there. I'm going to party, and I'll take her home. All right. Thank you. Appreciate it. So Morgan is more than willing and more than ready to move forward in this situation. Like, absolutely move forward. Then he gets into this car accident on the way home. He got everything going. She meets him, this Darius Meyer lady. She's like, oh, my goodness. So she was at the Golf and Country Club over there by Luckett. You know, that's pretty much just exclusively only. And he was the perfect gentleman and said, would you like to spend the evening at one of my estates and on my property? You can stay at one of the houses there. So,
hey, this man with this Morgan Freeman impersonation, bro, that shit crazy, bro. Man sound just like this dude, gang. What the fuck, bro? Let's get to it, man. But he telling y'all the story on how this thing supposed to been went down, bro.
you could have an easier drive and transition to work in the morning. So she was like, oh, this is great. So Morgan was like, no, don't worry, I'll drive. So he starts driving her car. But Morgan was having a good time at the golf course, and he was drinking. It was kind of dark on the road. He only lives 40 miles away to his property. You know, they were in Clarksdale, Mississippi, and they had to get to Charleston.
I knew they was right there.
So Morgan was drinking, got out of control, and totaled the car to the fact that she was stuck in the tree.
Damn.
They went off the road, hit a tree, and they had to get somebody to cut a tree down and get her out because she was pinned in the car.
Damn.
Morgan Freeman had to go in, get his arm and shoulder, get surgery done on his arm and shoulder. And once that was done, good people, let me tell you this. After that was done, would you know this man still was in denial of the whole situation? You ain't see Morgan Freeman go to jail. You didn't see Morgan Freeman get a DUI.
Sure didn't, bro.
That's power. You didn't see him get a mug shot. You didn't see him get arrested. That's power.
Hey, did y'all know? Hey,
Now,
Felicia, he ain't lying though, bro. That man didn't get a mug shot. He didn't get a picture. He didn't go to jail. The man said the gun was stuck in the fucking tree. They had to cut the tree just to get to her. That's power, gang. That's power. He ain't lying, bro. This the real car that he supposed to been two up. Like I said, Carcino, he ain't coming with no clickbait stuff. I wish I could change the title and we can rock out tonight, but I'm gonna change it when I get off. I'm gonna make sure I change it to random topics, random thoughts, reacting to Carcino, and I'm gonna delete the title and description and the thumbnail and everything, bro. But this shit crazy, bro. Cause I ain't never heard, or I can't recall that Morgan Freeman was on the news for a bad car accident, or he supposed to been went to jail, and then I think this female supposed to been lost her life, bro. Damn, look at that car, bro. And it look like somebody still right there stuck. You see that person right there with the airbag up on them? With a red circle around? There's somebody in the car right there with that red circle around them. Because you can see the hair. So that's the tree that's supposed to be stuck in between. God damn.
I told you, Morgan Freeman don't hang around the people you think he do. Him or Danny Glover. They're all part of this whole organization where they hang out with some of the most powerful people who are not our complexion.
Man, he probably did, Felicia. Bruce Almighty.
Morgan's granddaughter wants to be a star. And Morgan is having very inappropriate type of, like dinners, and he's overly loving to Dina. The wife and Morgan got back together briefly. After about a year and a half apart, she got back with Morgan Freeman, as he promised. He wasn't going to have anything to do with Dina in that way ever again. He had stopped. Then it was over for good when she found out he had lied and that it was still going on. He just wanted to buy her silence.
Oh, we better get into it, man. This shit getting crazy here, bro. Because I ain't seen this shit in a while, bro.
No intentions of stopping. So she left. Now, Morgan Freeman is what you would call a political activist for Black History Month. He doesn't want a Black History Month. He don't want Black history is American history. So he wants to be called an American. We don't call it White History Month.
Hold on, bro. You heard what he just said? Man, I gotta rewind it. It caught me off guard, bro. Cause it sounded like he was drinking on something, but that caught me off guard. That nigga said Morgan Freeman don't want a Black History Month. I ain't gonna lie, Morgan Freeman look like he old stingy, crooked ass nigga. Allegedly, YouTube. I'm just joking. It's just entertainment purposes, but I'm just saying he do look like he shiesty. Just being real.
Is American history. So he wants to be called an American. We don't call it White History Month. Morgan Freeman is what you would call a political activist for Black History Month. He doesn't want a Black History Month. He don't want Black history is American history. So he wants to be called an American. We don't call it White History Month. He was on 60 Minutes with Mike Wallace and says, I'm not going to call you a white man if you stop calling me a black man. Don't want to be labeled as that. He wanted the proposal to change the Mississippi state flag. He wanted to take down all of these things, the Tea Party and everything else. He wanted to help form aid for Grenada, for Hurricane Ivan, all these different type of political things he was involved in. Then Dina, his girl, his granddaughter, he's been raising. It all hit a big snag then because this is the daughter he's been raising all this time. And guess what? She is in love. And now with the attention on this inappropriate relationship.
Man, bro. Now, I didn't know that she fell in love. I thought he was going to come with the she was trying to tell her family members, but her family didn't want to listen. I thought he was going to come with that, y'all. This nigga come out and say she was in love with the granddaddy. Man, oh my God, Morgan Freeman. What's going on, gang? What's going on, bro? You up in there piping that girl down. That she in, boy. Being appropriate with women. That's what he was saying. He was saying Morgan Freeman, allegedly he do that when he get on the alcohol. He said when he get on the alcohol, he like to touch. He like to get frisky. He feel like he can do what he want to do. Man.
Relationship floating around. Morgan had to dial it back because it's starting to look bad on his image and everything else. And then she venomously denied it. Morgan venomously denied it, said this is ridiculous rumors and lies. But now, how did they get this information? Morgan said, it's the media. They want to tear me apart. Now, as now, no one knows who's the original father of Dina Himes. Like, we knew the daughter that he adopted got pregnant, and this was his granddaughter. But no one knew who the father really was.
Hold on, bro. Hold on, bro. I gotta slow that down. What the fuck he just say? He said that he got somebody pregnant. He said Morgan Freeman got somebody pregnant. God, what?
Daughter. But no one knew. Now, no one knows who's the original father of Dina Himes. Like, we knew the daughter that he adopted got pregnant, and this was his granddaughter. But no one knew who the father really was. So once they had this daughter, when she was 3 years old, her and her couple separated or whatever. And so she was asked to take, control of what went on, right? So now that she's raised her, the media's all on his back and everything.
Bruh. Bro, this shit crazy, bro. Man, these niggas get their money. They, bro, they got every other type of female. Bro, they got so many type of variety of females. You like them big boned, you like them skinny, you like them normal, you like them with muscles. Bro, you got all this money. Why would you mess with your own bloodline like that, bro? Why would you do that, bro? Like, man. Allegedly, bro. Allegedly, man.
I think it's spiraling out of control for Morgan Freeman. All you could see and determine in this situation.
That's what he probably was, Mama Williams. He probably allegedly broke the girl virginity, man. No cap. You hit it right on the head, bro. He probably did that, bro.
Have a big situation here. Now that she's got this boyfriend that she's dating, she's not really connected to Morgan that much. And Morgan Freeman allegedly was telling her how much he loved her, his granddaughter, to the point that he didn't care what people had to say anymore. He was willing to marry her, or at least proposition that. He didn't care anymore what society had to say.
Oh, what?
He's telling her how much he loved.
That must be the boyfriend.
To Morgan that much. And Morgan Freeman allegedly was telling her how much he loved her, his granddaughter, to the point that he didn't care what people had to say anymore. He was willing to marry her, or at least proposition that. He didn't care anymore what society had to say. And Morgan Freeman went crazy and denied this. Said, this is defamation, fabrication to sell newspapers. I love my step-granddaughter like she was my own flesh and blood. So during the separation, where the wife was clearly headed for the divorce, Morgan Freeman and Dina clarified to the public about their relationship to clarify the claims being an inappropriate bond. Morgan felt he was betrayed by his ex-wife, but she hadn't went public. It was just leaked out there to the public. He always felt it was her that did it. And she did it so that Morgan would stop. Because this messes her up in the situation. See, Morgana and Alfonso Freeman, the brothers and sisters, they're part of the American entertainment industry as well. You know,
Tech moves fast, and WGU can help you keep.
Man, what the hell is going on, bro? This shit feel like a nigga in the movies up in. Man, what the hell going on with Morgan Freeman, gang? What is going on with this old freaky dude? Man, bro. Oh my God, man.
They're a singer. You know, she wanted to serve, you know, and like perform and do like makeup, hairstyles, and all of those different things. So all of a sudden, like I said, she falls in love. And everybody's like, oh, wait a minute. So now that he's in love with what's going on with this situation, she didn't fall in love. Where's that going to leave Morgan Freeman? So his involvement got a little bit crazy because he got more possessive, wanting to know more about the relationship, what had happened in the relationship, as her young boyfriend, you know, that Morgan Freeman was definitely keeping an eye on. And even in her text, she was talking about she was dealing with an old man who was so attached to her life as she was getting older, and she's grown, she's in her 30s, she's pulling away from Morgan's grip. And he wasn't okay with that. Very much so, not okay with it. Now, Morgan and his step-granddaughter, who he carried with him everywhere, she was his date at the 2005 Golden Glove Awards. And people was like, I don't know about this. This does not look right. And she wanted to be an actress. She wanted to be in Hollywood. She wanted to be on that stage and perform. She was going to take classes, and she wanted to go do hair and makeup. She was full of ambition and joy. But the person she was in love with was a young kid who didn't know what he wanted to do with his life, but definitely was somebody who was influential, knowing that he was dating somebody who was linked to someone who was rich and had money. And he was somebody who was just out there. She was young in love, and now she's seeing something that many people didn't understand.
Man, this shit crazy, bro.
He was also bitter. Morgan Freeman did not like him. He had the guy vetted, found out he was a rap artist or singer, whatever, smoked a lot of pot, did a lot of drugs that he denied he did many times. Like, I don't do these drugs and I don't do these things. But Dina at the time was not speaking to Morgan Freeman. She had just 2 weeks prior had ignored a lot of his messages, text messages or anything. So after all of this was done and everything was pushed and thrown to the side, her boyfriend comes there one night outside of her house and just repeatedly is stabbing her.
Damn.
She's screaming his name.
I ain't know this happened. Shit. That's why he in court looking like that. Damn.
It's stabbing her. She's screaming his name as he continuously stabs her again, again, and again. She screams his name, Lamar, loud. They call 911, and people tried to help and go out there and pull him off, and he's continuously stabbing her. He stabbed her over 25 times, and she died. Very unfortunate. But the most unfortunate part about it was this guy said he never did PPC or whatever. Never done it before.
PCP.
I think he was drugged. At PCP, whatever, yeah.
Yeah.
Never had it before. That's what he claims. And that someone laced it with him, a guy you don't know. And he thought he saw devils. And he was doing it in the name of Jesus Christ, was trying to eliminate the devil.
This the boyfriend. He supposed to been went one night, met up with Morgan Freeman's daughter, and stabbed her 25 times. Because Morgan Freeman was with her. And he wanted to be with her. But she was in love with him. So somebody had to go. This shit crazy, bro.
That was around her. So he was trying to save her by killing the devils that he saw when he looked at her.
And it's so crazy, bro, because she looked down there just like she looked something like this man, bro. And you was doing something with her. Man, what is going on, bro? Bro, this girl look down there just like you.
He saw the demons. He was trying to execute them. Morgan Freeman didn't sound as broken up as many would thought when this tragic death happened. He just put out a statement saying, well, people now won't know how great she was. You know, and it was like very like, man, you know, like that's gone now and people won't get to see it. You know, we heard it was kind of like orchestrated. Wasn't really, you know. What do you say? The world would never know her artistry and talent and how much she had to offer.
You said the problem.
It's not something you would say when your granddaughter has lost her life.
Sacrifice, bro.
His final thrust was into the heart. He was there to kill. Whether he was on drugs or not, his intent was to kill her. Did someone pay him to do it? Did someone provoke him to do it or possess him to do it? Word around the campfire is Adina was going to tell her story. And according to the PCP man, she had told him about the affair, about Morgan Freeman and their relationship.
It's crazy.
They definitely had a relationship.
It's crazy,
but
bro.
no one's listening to him because he's a PCP addict in jail who's probably going to say anything to get money. So they're not worried about him. He's gone for life. And Adina, well, she's not going to be able to put out any stories, any books, anything about anything. So when you mess with powerful people, powerful things happen. So let that sink in. So that's the Morgan Freeman none of y'all would ever hear about.
Allegedly, bro. Allegedly, bro. That shit crazy. That shit crazy, bro. We got one. I got one more, bro. I got one more I'm gonna play. I'm gonna let this bitch play for like 30 minutes. It's so many of these bitches that he got, gang. Man. Trying to find one more. I seen the one I wanted to do. I'm just trying to see. All right. Hey, this nigga Carcino, bro, he on another level, gang. He on another level, bro.
This is how easy
He
it
on
is to
another.
buy shit.
He on another level. Now, this video right here supposed to be about Hollywood most powerful gatekeepers. Damn. It's a fucking. He talking up here.
What?
people were telling about. Who are these guys? Who are these people? These people are the ones that decide if your project is going to be made. They decide release dates. They decide everything. They own the studios. They're the presidents of them. They run them, but they are gatekeepers. These are the big fish. You would think these people are the main one. This is if they stay to go.
Hey, the audio gonna play good, man. I don't know why it's doing this shit, bro. This shit weak, bro. For real.
Because really, that's what's supposed to happen. But someone else tells them what to do. Yeah. So when you get to the grand dance, who is that guy? That's Tom Rothman from the Sony Motion Picture Group. Not all these people make a bunch of billion-dollar films, but they do substantial work. Now, this is Donna Langley. And what did Donna Langley do? She's from Universal Film Entertainment Group. And Donna, well, let's just say Donna didn't have the back of certain women when it was time to have the back of certain women. She gave women a shot, like when they gave her a shot, but she stayed in her lane when it comes to certain films in the industry. Now you might be saying, well, what does this have to do? What does one correlation have to do with another? Well, sometimes they work together. It's a joint project. You ever see a movie come on and you see all these little introductions or these film company headers that pop up before a film? And you're like, how many studios it took to make this film? It's a whole bunch of them. It'd be like some of them like 10 different studios, 10 different ways money was coming in to help produce something in this film. So points are being divvied out. This company's getting a few points. This one's getting a few points. They're all going to get some points off of this motion picture.
Check this out. I'm going to show you how I afford.
Damn, bro. I don't know why this shit is lagging like that, bro. But I know what I'm gonna do though. I know what I gotta do though. I know what I gotta do, bro. Okay. I had to go on his channel. Let me take it back one time, bro. Damn. Hold on. See, he got shit on everybody, bro, because he was around these people during the time. This nigga was around Pac, Suge, Death Row. Hold on, I'm trying to find a good one, bro. That's when they go to the videos and shit. Alright. I damn near wanted to do that one. That bitch short, but it's decent though. Okay. Hell yeah, that's what I'm doing this shit now,
It's me
bro.
all the time to do the breakup of Death Row.
Gotta speed his shit.
And a lot of people don't know the history of Death Row Records. And Death Row is a small label, just like Ruthless Records, but it needs someone to help distribute it. And that's where there was an opportunity when Jimmy Iovine came into the forefront where they could control their distribution. They were able to buy apart, and Interscope Records would allow them to distribute their own music, because at that time, gangster rap was not part of Interscope's circle. Now, Dre and Suge had went and started Death Row Records. Suge and basically put up the money for it. And when they did, Dre was equal partners with Suge. You know, they were all going to get their money. And that's what Suge's whole purpose was when he created the label. Was like, I'm going to take care of the artists. These guys making all this money off us.
Millions of views earned. But how do I earn extra?
Oh, appreciate everybody who up in the building, man.
So Suge wanted to make sure everybody was taken care of that needed to be taken care of.
Yeah, I think he
In
was,
the game,
please.
as far as like his artists, and paving a new way. Just some of the methods he did going about doing it wasn't the way you take in this business aspect. Now, to do this, you need to go through the history of Interscope Records. Interscope Records started out with Ted Fields, and once you got Ted Fields involved, and he brought along partners, was it Tom Wiley and the guy we all know today, Jimmy Iovine. So Jimmy and basically them, they just kept putting out their own music. And what they were putting out was borderline gimmicky. It was a rough couple of years. They weren't turning in any profits. They had Geraldo and Marky Mark. That was the only biggest songs they had. Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch. And Geraldo's Rico Suave. You know, those were the only hits that they had. So at that time, they were in need of help, and they decided to hire, because Ted Fields went to him personally and said, "I want you to hook up with these producers that I have, but I want to
He
put you
said free Suge Knight.
in charge of acquiring talent." They hired the man who's really responsible for the whole growth of Interscope Records. He's a black man named John McClain. Don't confuse him with John McClain from Die Hard. In this business, he does Die Hard. He's the Al Heyman of the music business, basically. He's very quiet, but he knows music. And the reason why he doesn't talk so much because he's a listener. And he listens to music. He understands it. His mom was like, she was a choreographer. She played music, like professional instruments.
Yeah, I ain't
like
know who this
orchestra
dude was.
Organization. So he's been working with Janet Jackson when he was at A&M Record, you know, and he was a very wealthy man, leaving in 1990 to go over to Interscope Records. So in like 91 or something like that, he went over to Interscope, and the first thing he did was say, they didn't know how to recruit talent, especially in the urban market field, which controlled and dominated the music business. Whoever had the urban market was going to rule the music business. That's just how it was. And you know, the urban market didn't really get with the Funky Bunch. So all they had was Tupac, who did Apocalypse Now. He was the first artist Interscope had at that time, but they didn't understand how to promote him or what to do with him. So when John McClain came along in 91, 92, he said, okay, this is what I want to do.
That's crazy though. How they ain't know how to promote Tupac? Well, shit, they slick didn't know how to promote NWA though. I don't think they had NWA though. It's just crazy though. Like how they ain't know how to promote Tupac, but that's probably back when hip hop was just probably new to them.
He went out in the field, and he hardly ever was in office because he's a hands-on man. He's the kind of guy that goes and see what's going on. So he talks to Dick Gregory. I mean, Dick Gregory. I'm thinking, but Dick Griffey, and he's the guy that runs the LA studio where all the artists will come in and try to record it. And he met Dr. Dre, and Dre was working on the Chronic there. And he had about, it was about like 6 songs. He had Let Me Ride. He had did the soundtrack. He did the Deep Cover soundtrack already. And he had G Thing on there. And then he had, it was about 6, 7 songs on there. But I think D's Nuts was on there. It was about 6, 7 songs on there. Maybe even more, but maybe like 6 songs. And John McClane listened to him and said, I need to take this to Interscope Records. I'm going to play this for Jimmy and Ted Fields and see if we can get them to finance Death Row Records. Because I want this record to be with Interscope. Because this got the potential to be monumental. Because John is all about sound. Him and Drake clicked instantly because they understood. You know what? He hears what it sounds like. I like where this album is going. And this got the feel to be something epic.
Hey.
So,
but everybody knew in the building, bro, I couldn't run a Charleston White stuff like I wanted to, bro, because the video glitching, so I had to run something else. But I'm gonna go back and change the title once this live over with. But I appreciate everybody who up in the building, man.
He went to John, I mean, what's his name? Jimmy Iovine and Ted Fields. And then Tom's there, they all listening to the album. And they're like, And they're like, well, but he said, who was that? Ted Fields didn't want to do it. Ted Fields is like, okay, but I don't know about cutting a label deal with Suge Knight and Dr. Dre. I don't want to cut a label deal. We got enough labels right now. So he's like, I don't know. Maybe later, let's see what this album does. And then if his next album is something, and we'll come back. But McClane was like, if we let this guy go and they shop this somewhere else, somebody's going to pick them up. I guarantee it.
Nursing feel like a nightmare.
Oh, okay. Okay, so during this time here, this problem when hip hop was just coming to the game. Okay, so so they must then mess with NWA. Okay, I'm trying to see. So was this the time right behind NWA when Dre was free? Because hip hop, a lot of people during that time didn't want to mess with it. Okay, so now I'm understanding what's going on there.
So right then and there, they were like, okay, they got everything in motion, and there it was. Boom. They got to deal with Dre. Went back. Jimmy Iovine, as you saw in the movie, he goes and talks to Dre and Suge, and this is where Jimmy and Ted was basically going to work out the contract deal to get Dre released from Ruthless Records, and they did that.
Okay, yeah.
So at this point, Death Row is at the top of the game because they come out the gate, they selling like 25 million records, and I mean, like over the next 3, 4, 5 years, they got all these records sold, and they're dominating the industry at this point. So Suge is getting all this money, and with this money comes power, comes a lot of ego. And one thing is, everything seems to always break up in-house. Now, there were a couple of incidents where inside the circle, you got people seeing the money come in, they seeing the lights, they seeing Death Row, and they thinking we all should be millionaires. And where's our millions of dollars? And then you got people that's early on that worked on the Chronic and other albums, they get disgruntled, like RBX. He was the first one.
Yeah. That's why I kind of feel
I don't know, man. Like, I ain't going with this, and Suge is this, and Suge saying that, but man, I ain't seeing it. And he stepped, and he wasn't allowed to be in the studio no more. Nobody was allowed to associate with him. It was like, cut him off. He's a cancer. We got to get rid of him now, because all he's gonna do is cause disruption. But he was asking questions like, "No, Dre, he said,
let the homie out.
Why is this way? Why is that way? When my album coming out?
It
And
messed
blah
up
blah
what
blah.
happened
You know,
to
so
Suge, though.
he had to get released. And the Dog Pound, you know, they had to retaliate, and that's when they had that song. What was that? That song on the Murder Was the Case soundtrack where they talked about the incident. Man, he wouldn't even squawk back. He would have got a dog cracker. I second the motion. You was dropped from the cliff. So, and that's why we X your bitch ass from the pound, because he wouldn't even squawk back. Yeah, I remember that song, baby. But it's a great song. But after that, things start happening in house where deals was getting done a certain way, but Suge was fighting for his employees, so he wanted things to be done right. Like Jimmy Iovine at that time, man, he was in love with Death Row. Death Row was Suge Knight and Jimmy Iovine. They were the coolest buddies ever at that time. You couldn't tell them anything. John McClane, all of them. They went to Jimmy's house, had dinner, sat down, gave him anything he wanted. It's like, hey man, you want dinner? Here's dinner. We got this for you. You got that. They used to have these in the backyard. They used to have those sport games they used to play. They used to have a softball game. They used to have football. So she was like, man, I ain't running around there, man. My knees. I ain't gonna be running, doing all that running. So what they did was they had a football game, and then Suge was out there blocking, knocking people out. But it was all fun. Everything was fun and joyous and laughing. And then more success came more problems. Once Suge's friend got killed out there in New York, things were starting to change and unravel once he decided to go after Bad Boy Records. Now, Clive is they're friends with Jimmy. They might work for different companies, but they're still friends. And to go after one of his label mates, it was starting to create a friction between the two. And there was a couple of incidents where there's the Andre Harrell situation. There's a lot of different situations that's popping up that is causing Interscope to be like, oh man.
Okay, so basically what Carcino's saying is that Suge really didn't have no type of ownership of Death Row. He had a percentage, but from what it sounds like, he didn't have no ownership of Death Row, bro. Because when he got locked up, what happened to Death Row? Did he sell it? I don't think Suge sold that shit. I think Jim Iovine and Interscope them, they took that shit from him. If I'm not mistaken, I don't know. We finna get into it, but this what it sounds like, what he explaining that Interscope helped finance Death Row. So, it's like a loan. Like, nigga, we give you 100 mil, nigga, you owe us 2. You know what I'm saying? So, it was like Death Row was down there deals. We finna get into it, bro. We finna get into it, bro.
Now we got to deal with this situation. It's a lot of problems that's popping up out of the blue that they never had to deal with when they dealt with other artists. Now it's like we got problems.
Damn, I ain't know no L for the taco game. See, that's how I know YouTube monetized his video good, because I bet.
With these lawsuits. But Suge normally was fighting people for contracts. He would throw charity foundations and charitable events in the city. Suge would go all the way down to the city and say to Compton, charity for the children. Boom, here's some money. Here's 100,000 here. Here's 50,000 for this. Rebuild this. Here's free food, turkey for the Thanksgiving.
She had to be Felicia.
None of this stuff even was brought up about Suge because people so used to talking about the negative, but he was actually doing some good in the community as far as kicking the money back, paying for people's funerals. He did a lot of stuff as far as Death Row giving back to the community. And what Suge did is he owned his portion of the business because of the success. They could distribute their own music. So even though they was with Interscope, they was a distributor as well. They bought that end of the business.
Okay. Y'all see what I'm saying? So see, he basically saying Suge them just owned the distributor side of the business, and I think they just run the risk of Death Row. I don't know, but he basically letting you know right now, like, Suge really didn't have full ownership of Death Row, man. We finna see what's going on. Felicia said, I remember that guy who got out on a partner and put the money up. I think his name was Harry, something like that. Yeah, I think it was that dude, the first dude who had got the catalog, the Death Row catalog, and then everybody else started getting it, and that's when Snoop Dogg got hold to it. I think that is his name.
That little key gave him access to a lot of power, especially when they start selling so many records early on. And everybody kind of turned their eye to it, and then they realized it was going to be a big problem because they couldn't control Suge Knight. And when Suge, like certain monies weren't there, that should have been there. And this was the good thing about it, because Suge was making them own up to what they were supposed to be doing. He wasn't asking to give him something that wasn't his. You see, people applaud Ice Cube when he go in the office with the bat. But Suge Knight go in the office to get his money. Suge's a bully.
Okay.
So it's all about the perception of it. Suge Knight went in there to get what was owed to him. Did some people get hurt? Probably. But I'm just saying, he went there to get what was owed to him. You know, some of the methods and measures he used were because he's used to being from the streets. So when you've been disrespected, you react to it in a different way. But he's in a whole different circle, a different bubble. They deal with things differently.
Yeah, them facts.
They don't. People like, well, we didn't mean it like that. Why does he take that so seriously? Because he's from the streets. So with the Andre Harrell situation too, you know, you got Clive that's not happy about the situation, and then you know you got John who's always out. They never really had a problem with John McClane. They'll tell John, like, man, what's going on? And John will be like, well, you got to talk to Jimmy and them in the office of the finance department about anything and money. So the finance department and Interscope stayed getting whooped up. Jimmy got so spooked, Jimmy moved. So Jimmy got a whole new house. Nobody knows what Jimmy's new house is. Jimmy is like, I don't want Suge Knight coming around. You know, and he's like, this guy he's a bad guy. Like, I didn't know he was this. I never knew who this guy was. Now Jimmy's.
So basically, Carcino was saying a lot of artists were like, he was strong on folks. I mean, yeah, because he was owed a lot of money from Jimmy Iovine. That's why Suge was like this. Now, basically, what Carcino's saying is that Jimmy Iovine owed Suge some money, and you know the type of people Jimmy Iovine them is, they got so much money they feel like they can pay you when they see the residuals come back off the music. Like, it don't matter if they got $100 billion, they want to pay you off whatever business they got. They want you to get the money off debt. They don't want to pay you out pocket and then it don't go right. You know what I'm saying? But you say Suge had that mind on hiding because he never paid them. So I wonder what money was they getting? Was they just getting the show money? Or they distributing fee? Cause you know he probably was owed the CEO fee. They were just getting the distributing fee. They ain't get the other royalties and masters that belong to them, cause Jimmy Iovine owed them that. But we should get into it.
Nervous about being around Suge Knight. So all of a sudden, they signed Tupac Shakur to the label. Okay? At this point, everything's still okay a little bit. You know, Interscope is still riding with him. Then they see Jimmy sparingly. He was sparingly coming to the office because Suge was always coming down there. And
hey, anybody new up in the building, bro, I couldn't run the Charleston White stuff because my video glitching, bro. So I had to run something else. But I will change the title so won't nobody feel like they misled or they got clickbait tonight. It wasn't my fault. The video glitching is gonna glitch if I play it, so I had to run something else with, you know, it's like this. You know what I'm saying?
Doing what he do. Now Universal is a part, they own Interscope. So they go to the finance department. She'll come down
I think so.
Like, Universal hasn't cut the checks. When Universal cut the check, you're gonna get your check. That's just as cool. We gonna send it over expressly So Suge was like, I'll go to Universal myself. And then he went to Universal and they wouldn't let him in the building. So some things happened. So the president, Doug Morris of Universal Records, allegedly received a very serious threat from Suge Knight. So now, anytime Doug comes to the office, Doug was very paranoid about that. There was wall-to-wall security.
All right. Now he just said it. If y'all just with Jimmy Iovine only on the West Coast, that's something I don't know. Cause you know a lot of them, they got business on the West Coast and East Coast, but they may stay in the high ends or the low ends of certain states. Like they probably had to take jets and flights to get to their destination. But okay, now he basically just said another key point. In order for Suge Knight to get paid, and in order for Jimmy Iovine to pay Suge and Death Row, they had to wait on Universal. So they let you know right then and there it was other people who had ties to that Death Row money. Like Suge then had all the ends to it, like how it's supposed to be on paperwork. See, on paperwork, it say that he got it. I appreciate everybody who in the building. I couldn't run the Charleston White stuff, so bro, I had to run something else because I'm not going to sit up here and let a slow motion video play. So I had to go grab something else and run. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna change the title. So after it's getting processed on YouTube, want nobody to be like, oh damn, this some clickbait shit. Nah, because if you rewind all the way to the beginning of the live, I started off with the Charleston White shit, but the video was lagging. But we finna see what's going on with this. But Suge didn't have our ownership of Death Row, bro. He just said he had to go through Interscope. I mean, he had to go through Universal. So if you had to go through Jimmy Iovine, then you had to go through Universal. So that means Universal, Jimmy Iovine, the Brian dude, they got to get their cut. So many people got to get their cut out that money. Shit.
You're one sentence away from launching your.
What's up with the La La Love? What's up with the gang?
Doug had 15 people come and grab him from home to the office. Security at the place was not even, you wouldn't even believe the type of security they had at Universal at that time. So when Tupac arrived at Death Row Records, Dre is not happy about it. Everybody thought Dre was all excited about it because he saw the movie. That's not true, because this was not Suge's role. Dre's job was to hire the talent and to sign people. What was Suge doing signing people? Suge was taking more and more control of Death Row, of all the procedures, things that he said he didn't want to do. He was supposed to be behind the scenes. Now he's putting himself more out in front. So Dre's like, man, this is what I'm talking about, man. I'm gone. And he was like, man, I try to stick it out with Pac and all this, but he didn't want to sign Tupac. He didn't feel like this was the thing to do. So when Pac come in and all these dudes coming in with him, and he had signed like
Hey, see, that one I don't understand right there neither, bro. Why Dre didn't want to sign Pac? Like, I ain't gonna lie, Snoop, he was their boy. Snoop Dogg was their boy, bro. But at the same time, why Dre didn't want to sign Pac though, bro? Like, what was their big issue? Because that really was the issue why Dre left. Because he went sign Pac. Which I feel where Dre coming from, because if I'm not mistaken, Dre was the A&R. See, and Suge was just supposed to be the dude who handling the paperwork, make sure we get the money. Dre was the one who supposed to go find the talent. And Suge was doing everything, like he was trying to act like he run everything and don't want to let Dre do what he supposed to do besides, I guess, make beats. But we could get to it, man. We could see what's going on. Yeah, I had to run something else, Lala, because the video was messed up, so I had to go run something else where it just, the pictures up and they talking in the back, because I don't know why I was lagging tonight, because I was running on my phone, but I was like, man, I'm going to try to come on the PC, but we just going to rock it out through here.
a couple other artists too. And that's when he was like, man, see, this is what I'm talking about. So they working on the record. And it was California Love, and Dre had all his verses on California Love, and he basically gave the record to Tupac. And Pac was talking very disrespectfully about him, loud enough for him to hear it some of the times, and Suge just laughing. You know, he just laughing, even though he talking about Dre and cracking on Suge, just cracking up laughing with him. And Dre and Tupac had the same situation because of the girl that used to be down with him. They used to sing with him, you know, that Tupac used to have on Thug Life before she started dating Dre.
Michelle,
so that time things started to, you know, bubble up to the point where
whatever her
Dre couldn't do that
name.
no more. And she told Dre, like, you know, they talking about you. They was filming a video.
He talking about the female that you talking about, Fifi, early in the comment.
California Love, and he's just like, that's all right, because I already got my deal. I'm gone. I'm through with this. I'm out of here. And once he said that, it was over. He's like, they had this. Tell Suge and the rest of them, I'm gonna come back. He came back, got his reels, and he was like, I ain't gonna even say goodbye. I'm gone. They ain't never gonna see me again. And true to his word, Jimmy had already secured a location for him to go hide out and work on his album and get himself out of that Death Row situation and work out his deal with his label exclusively on Interscope and separate himself from
He
Suge
talking
Knight.
about Dr. Dre.
So they come out with Tupac record, already go through the roof, you know. So it was like, oh, okay, great, this is perfect. You know, he was already one of our first artists at Interscope. So Interscope is loving this Tupac thing, and Tupac is he's selling 5 million. This is unbelievable. Tupac this and this, All Eyes on Me, double CD. They're enjoying the success of the album. So all of the success and all this is going great. Then the company's happy. They're ready to come out with more projects with Tupac and this and that. Then Tupac's untimely death. And Interscope just, after that, they had just had it. They had just completely had it. And to them, it was too dangerous to have Suge Knight on the streets with that kind of power. And allegedly, when Suge had to go to court, they had him on parole. They had an investigator. You know, they got people that take care of things like this to go through his records, find out if he's violated anything. Is he on parole? They found out he's on parole. And they trying to find a way to get Suge out of his position, to get him out of to Death Row Records, where they can have him separated from it and, you know, just take away the power that he has. And they found an angle with this parole violation for kicking Orlando Anderson.
Ain't no harm in wandering.
Yeah, this shit crazy, bro. So when he did that to Orlando Anderson, that's right after Pop passed away. That's when they did that to Suge. That's why Suge went to going crazy and running people over and all this old crazy stuff, man.
Suge may or may not have done. They finna give him 9 years in prison for kicking a guy. Because that's all. You could barely see Suge do anything on that tape. And that's blatantly honest.
Damn, so Suge Knight was for to get 9 years just for kicking, bro. Damn. I ain't know that. I knew he you know, you seen the footage where he ain't do nothing but was stomping them out, but I didn't know they were gonna give him 9 years for that. I didn't know that.
You can see it's like he's just moving his leg. You could barely see it through the pixels. But that was enough to convict a man for 9 years. You knew what time it was. It was a setup. That whole trial was a setup. It just showed you what kind of power they had and what they could do.
Man, facts.
Then when Suge got out, they was gonna make sure Death Row was never gonna come back. Never. Because during his time of incarceration, Notorious B.I.G. gets murdered.
But
and people are looking at, man, this is Suge Knight. And
hey, bro, I understand that problem child, bro. I understand that game. But 9 years, bro. So you saying that's worth 9 years, bro? Just for kicking somebody, jumping on them? And then Pac passed away. So that what he getting the 9 years for kicking somebody? Hey, shout out to everybody who in the building, man. If you knew in the background, bro, I couldn't run the Charleston White stuff. I couldn't run the video because it's lagging. So I had to go run content where people just got the pictures showing and they talking up in the background, bro. Suge is a huge giant. Suge was out here wild. Hey, for real, he was, bro. But still, though, 9 years, bro. He just told you what they were trying to do. 9 years. Just for kicking Orlando Brown.
No, with Death Row. And what's his name? Just like, I'm gone. John McClane's like, I'm going back to A&M.
Orlando Anderson, whatever the
I
fuck his
can't have
name.
any parts of this. I'm leaving. So his departure opened the door for they gave him a piece of the company, but he took $1 million a year salary and went over there to A&M and started putting out hits over there. He signed Ice Cube. He had Corrupt signed over there. He was, getting ready to do his couple of deals. And he just didn't want to have anything to do with this no more. This had gotten way too crazy. The music industry wasn't safe no more. Interscope became like a battleground with all these armed guards and people with guns everywhere. It just wasn't safe no more. And Suge's locked up. But it's like the record label's having trouble keeping its artists, and some people there and release music because they got all these investigations going on in the company and where the money come from, and they was trying to disassemble Death Row Records. That's all it was. Interscope made it our plan to never let Suge Knight get back in power again. That was the thing. We can't let him have that position. Again, we got to dismantle that company. And everything you've seen happen to Death Row Records.
I don't know, Felicia, bro. I don't know, man.
To take apart Death Row Records and never let it get back up.
I promise y'all, bro. I really don't know, bro. That whole situation crazy, man. Cause he was just gonna get y'all 9 years just for stomping somebody out. Mob James said Suge wasn't like that. Yeah, he did say that. Mob James said they played sports together and whatnot, but Suge was a good boy. You know what I'm saying? He said his folks had it. He ain't never had to get with that Pyru shit. He said he basically blessed Suge again because they were best friends. So, like he was like Suge Knight personal security.
Big money was spent to make sure it never came back into power. They could not have Suge Knight attached to any of it. As you can see, he's trying to do stuff to get his label back. They give Eminem rights to Tupac's music. Eminem? I'm just like, Pac would have had a fit about that. Then they got rights to Biggie's music when they got Bad Boy Records over on Interscope Records. So now he's got Sean Puffy Combs, his new buddy and partner, and he likes Sean Combs. So once he got Puffy from Clive, and now they got Biggie's music and Tupac's music. Oh, we could put it together. Now we could do an Eminem, Biggie, and Tupac song. That would be great. In the meantime, let's keep crushing Suge Knight. Let's keep putting a foot on his throat. Let's hold him down because we can't let him get back in power again. So that's what happened to Death Row.
Hold on, I'm gonna go find one more guy. I'm gonna find one more. Cause I don't know why is he doing it. Why I can't play my video? Cause I was gonna get up into that Charleston White and Jay Prince shit tonight. I had the whole little series on how I was gonna run it, but what's up with the YK? What's up with the YK gang? right, this how we gonna go right here. This how we gonna go right here, bro.
What's up? It's your boy Carcino, and let's get to it. This is the truth between the beef with Snoop Dogg and Suge Knight, or Suge Knight and Snoop Dogg. And as we always do, we go to the beginning.
I
Let's go
appreciate
back
that.
to
Hey, appreciate that
213,
gifted.
where it's
YK, appreciate that gifted game. I just seen it popped up, bro. I ain't seen it on my phone, but I appreciate that game. I appreciate that. We finna get up into it, bro. I appreciate that. Salute to everybody who up in the building. I would have ran the a 4-hour live or something like that, but I got to take my son to his artistic program. I mean, his artistic therapy thing tomorrow. You know, that'd be every Wednesdays and Fridays. So I try to run into like 2 to 3 hours. Yeah, but we finna get into it. And like I said, I was gonna run the Charleston White stuff, but man, it was lagging for some odd reason, and I didn't know that in the beginning. But I'm gonna see can I get this thing fixed because I supposed to be on OBS. OBS is like a free platform, so where it do the same thing it is. I was trying to do that tonight, but I couldn't. I ain't know how to pull up the video while I do what I'm trying to do. So, but I'm gonna run a test run to see how it go.
the old group of Nate Dogg, Snoop Dogg, and Warren G. And they making tapes, and they on, but what's his name? Mama, his sister crib, Warren G. You know, he kicking it, making these tapes and making the beats. We got Nate singing on the hooks, and it's dope, you know. And Dr. Dre is his half brother, so they was like, man, Dre gonna get us on, man. Your half brother's Dr. Dre. So they thinking, you know, this is gonna be it. You know, we can get over there and be with Ruthless, and be over there with Eazy-E now. And Snoop, you know, he had the curly fade back then, you know, and baseball caps. He walking over there, you know, he was like, man, we finna go to the studio. Dre gonna be there, Easy, you know, they recording. They was doing the Niggas for Life album. And that's when Snoop finally got to meet Eazy-E, you know, because he was like, man, you know, I want to see Eazy-E. You know, I seen him on the videos, I ain't never met him. And then he meet Eazy and see how cool like Eazy is and everything. And they like, man, that's Eazy, man. Look, like that's Eazy. You know, plus he was
Man, RP to Eazy-E, man. It was doing Eazy-E time, boy. That man took it back some, boy. It was doing Eazy-E time, man.
crippin', you know, Eazy hanging out with the Crips. You always got them gloves on with the cut off fingers. You know, that was Easy thing. So
He ass up in here. Hey, salute to Carcino, man. Salute to my boy
Eazy
Carcino.
was basically not even rapping that day. He just hanging out, you know, ready to do a part here and there, whatever they want him to do. Dre is just in there working on beats. So Warren G gave him a couple of tracks, like some records, because Yellow was there. He was like, Yellow, man, you pick up them, you know, them tracks. He's like, yeah, I want you to listen to this, Dre, and I want you to listen to this. And what was funny is this is the same time Tupac and Digital Underground was in town. And they was filming same song video. And he was like, yeah, man, we going down to the video set. Digital Underground, they finna shoot same song out here for the movie. He was like, for real? He's like, yeah, we're gonna probably get on the soundtrack. So Eazy-E then went down there, and Dre and all them, and NWA went to the set, chilled out for a minute, had some fun and jokes. So Snoop was there. So it's funny because Tupac was right there. Suge came around, talked to Dre at the time, and he started coming by less and less. Like he started feeling like okay, maybe I ain't wanted here. You know, like, you know, Suge wasn't feeling like he used to be. He used to just pop up like he owned the place. And Easy kind of like, okay, we got to put a halt to your boy just popping in and out, you know, doing his own thing. So after the incident happened with Eazy-E, and then Dre went over with Suge, Snoop was supposed to come over with Above the Law and all them, because all them was kicking it together. They were supposed to all come together as a package. But Above the Law was there, and Snoop and them ended up going with Dre over to what's his name, and he didn't take 231. Like he never signed Nate Dogg, and he never signed Warren G, his own brother. Only person he wanted was Snoop. And then he heard Snoop rapping on that tape and was like, yeah, see, his voice is what I need. Dude, smooth, I need his voice. So he was like, don't worry, man, y'all gonna be in it too. Like, so they got to hang and kick it, and he thinking, all right, man, our deals is coming, and Nate Dogg is working on the album with him, and then Nate Dogg gets signed after the album come out because Dre.
I sure about to say, damn, so they ain't signed Nate Dogg. So really, everybody who was dealing with Death Row during that time, everybody didn't have no deal. It was just off like GP saying like it.
Didn't even like Nate Dogg. And once Nate Dogg got signed after they did F with Dre, you picked the wrong mother. Here we go, blow the blow, toe. Let me know if you think you can fade Death Row. Once Dre recorded that song, he said, I hear what y'all saying. Y'all right. We signing him today. So Nate Dogg got signed, but before that, he thought Nate was whack. And anyway, back to Snoop. Snoop comes on the scene. Suge comes in there. They finna get a soundtrack. They already got the soundtrack for the movie. And right now, they dealing with contracts and all this stuff. They got this movie deal. And they.
Hey, looking at Snoop look like he uncomfortable though, bro. He looking like doing that whole time with Death Row. Yeah, RP Nate Dogg, man. He looked like doing that whole time that he with Death Row, especially when Pac came in the picture. He was like, man, I wish I would never sign with this nigga. For real, cause it's like you could just look at that look. He looked lost. He looked like, damn, like, is these niggas gonna ever push my music, or is this shit just all about Pac right now? Cause he probably wasn't getting no money. He probably was shelved, bro. They probably shelved, bro. But he should have, when Dr. Dre left, he should have left with Dr. Dre. I think if he would have left with Dr. Dre and just like, hey man, talk to who your peoples is, see if you can help me get out this contract. Snoop probably would have been good.
He got the money for it already, so they got to produce the song. So in comes Snoop. He want to put Snoop on there.
Probably say Snoop Pro.
And then they were gonna make them that was gonna be their first major artist on the label. But here's the kicker: Suge don't like him. Suge met him, was like, homie ain't finna work. It wasn't just that he was a crip; it's just the way he came in and his attitude. He was like, man, you sure about this, Dre? You know, like, I don't know this dude. Like
also,
that,
he ain't really like Snoop Dogg.
He don't sound like, no, we got Doc working with him, and, you know, Doc gonna work with him. I'm gonna work with him, but trust me, this dude voice here, yeah, he rough around the edges, but he gonna be all right. Oh, yeah, y'all let me do the voices, so.
Yeah. That's the same dude that was on that plane, gang. Like you said, that were holding forks. He was uncomfortable. Pac came around, you know, Pac was the type of dude, if he say something about you, when you come around, he gonna say it again just so you hear it, so won't nobody be like, oh, he talking my bro behind the back. Nah, he gonna say it to you right then and there on exactly what he said to them. Like, for real, he gonna try to be respectful with it, but he just gonna speak in mind. And y'all look at it, Snoop was like outnumbered. Most of the time he used to go around these niggas. It's 100 bloods. Every time he go over there, it's 100 fucking bloods. He go over there with 100 Crips, it might end up being a problem. It might not, but still, you know how niggas be, bro.
I do the trick. Yeah, he gonna be all right.
Hey, for real.
Yeah, hit that verse again. Yeah.
That's what everybody say. They say he was jealous of Tupac.
Nah, I think that you need to go in there and lay that track one more time. Yeah, I got it. Go ahead. So that's Dre. But Suge came in there. Dre, I need to talk to you. Your boy, I don't like him.
Them facts though. Snoop, them facts, Mama William. Snoop was one of their first artists. He was there before Pop. Them facts. He was there before Pop. When Snoop Dogg, the Dog Pound, Doggy Style, all that stuff was coming out, nigga, the world was fucking with Snoop Dogg at first. Yeah, the little Snoop Dogg that's off what it called, the Charlie Brown show. You know, the little Snoopy. That's the type of dogs he was using on his mixtape covers and album covers, like the Snoopy dogs, like hood versions though. Man, bro, this shit crazy, guy. Snoop was that boy back then though, bro. And it's like after that,
He said he good. I understand that. He said it's business. I just don't think he's an artist that's gonna sell a lot of records. I don't know. He's young. He's like a kid. I don't know nothing about him. You know, I'm saying let's stick with the Michelle A. Let's get Doc in here, get some other artists, and y'all mold them, and then we get some young boys out here from Compton. You know, we get a Butter Law and work about putting them out. Then we do some R&B records, get like Juicy.
That $5,000 check felt like a win.
I wish I get a $5,000 check. Send it to me. I'm gonna show you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna sit on it. I'm gonna act like ain't nothing happened.
We're gonna do the R&B and we're gonna do hip hop. We don't have everything. So I don't know about this. So he was like, I do the talent. Like,
Hey, I feel you on that though, Black problem child. Cause I'm gonna keep it a book on this situation right there. Snoop don't even own all of Death Row. He just owns certain percentage. You remember he got into it with Daz about this shit. You remember he was telling Daz like he gotta wait for other people to do this, and then he can only do this. He only own this percentage of Death Row. He ain't bought the rest of it. So I don't know. That whole situation crazy, bro. That whole situation crazy. I know one thing. Interscope, they finessed Suge Knight out of Death Row, and they just showed you that Suge Knight didn't never run across the money to pay these people their money back, so he could actually own Death Row. He probably wasn't gonna never pay them back because they were gonna keep on trying to tax him.
me judge the talent. That's my job. So he let Dre run it. Like, Suge gave him the okay, blessed him. Suge didn't care if he a crip. If you gonna make some money for him, he care less. And right now, Snoop ain't signed anyway. He was like, I ain't signing it, nigga. That's what Suge voice was like. Nate Dogg had a contract done before Snoop. That's honest to God true. Nate had a contract done, but Snoop didn't.
That shit crazy. You heard what he said? He said Nate Dogg had a contract before Snoop, bro. Snoop was there before everybody. So that means Snoop went under contract when they was doing what they were doing, bro. Man.
Snoop was not signed during the Chronic.
That shit crazy.
They just signed Snoop right before Doggy Style. Was like, even like he had the murder case going on at that time. Like when he had gotten signed and they were doing is we gonna sign Snoop or not? And he was already recording Doggy Style. And they didn't even have him signed. It was crazy. But during that time, Snoop was just like, yo, man, I'm just here to lay my vocals down, you know, do what I do, you know, and come and bless this. And Deep Cover come out, kills it. Everybody loved Deep Cover song. And then by having the jukebox come out too, people didn't know how influential that was for hip hop. You get to request your video instead of just waiting for them to play it. So people could play it over and over and over again, and Deep Cover kept getting played. And the thing is Dr. Dre hated the song. Nah, I don't like it. It was like, man, you don't like it? Nah, man, it's rushed. It's rushed. It ain't complete. So he didn't like the hook. Yeah, and you don't stop because it's one nigga. He just don't like Deep Cover.
It do sound like I feel
now, all of this
I feel Dr. Dre where he coming from the music aspect. Cause I used to do music. I feel what he's saying. Like when a song sound like it's rushed and you listen to it and you push it out, and then when you hear it, you be like, ah man, we could have did better than that because it sound like it rushed, but them be the songs that be the hits.
Everything is going great. Snoop gets a murder case. Guy was sneaking up on his car. His buddy saw the guy.
Yeah,
his other guy.
Yeah, that murder was the case. Them facts right there, problem child. Murder was the case. That's when he sold out to the high power. That's when he was allegedly tight with Dr. Dre before Dr. Dre split and went to Jim Iovine. Cause like I said, now Dre, come on now. Like during this time when Snoop, Suge, Tupac, Dre, Ice Cube, KRS-One, Ice-T, LL Cool J out during this time in hip hop, the Illuminati, the Baphomet, they was just like forming up into that realm of hip hop. They were just coming on out with it because they knew then people that had no money. So if they got one person that'll do anything for some money, they know the next person to do it if they want to be rich and famous.
I tried to hold him back, like, no, man, don't do it. You know, some blood, and his boy shot, pop, shot the guy like 2 times, and they pulled off. Boom. Next thing you know, dude was dead.
Cause think about it, they won. If they was around during KRS-One no time, we ain't know about it. It was under the radar. But when Snoop, Suge, Dr. Dre, Ice Cube, and them all came out, Eazy-E, that's when it started being like, slowly for surely coming out, gang.
So Snoop is facing, he turned himself in, got his case, he got his lawyer, and they went in there and turned themselves in. And when they came back, I mean, the charges and all this stuff, he was facing a murder charge. So it's like, man, Snoop facing murder charges. Like, what we finna do?
That shit crazy, bro. Niggas got all that money. That's how you know money can't stop you from getting into no bullshit, guy.
The album, Doggy Style, is like 3 songs in, you know, and here it is. Like, he got this trial coming up and all this stuff he gonna need done. You know, what the labels are gonna do. So everybody do what they always do. They hustle to see what they gonna get. At this time, The Chronic does like 5 million records sold. It's like one of the biggest selling rap albums.
So, all right, we're going to estimate something right quick. During that time, a CD cost $20. What it was, $19.99 plus tax. So we're going to say $22. It sold for $5 million, bro. $20 copies each. 5 million of them copies for $20 each was sold. So, nigga, what, that's like 10 million off the meat rack. That's what, 10? If I'm not mistaken. Shit, that probably be 100. I think that's 10 or 100. But if I'm not mistaken, I think that's 10 million off them 5 million that sold.
There's MC Hammer and Vanilla Ice. It's monumental. It's really put them on the map. Snoop is the biggest star in the world. And here it is. He's facing a murder charge that could derail his entire career. And they're like, do y'all want to miss out on this money? Suge Knight went to Interscope and fought for Snoop. Snoop wasn't signed. He was like, look, he went to Jimmy Iovine and said, Jimmy, if we don't pay for this guy trial, then we don't miss out on the biggest rap artist of all time. Snoop Dogg, right now, he's going to be the biggest rap artist in the world. And if we don't sign him, and we don't take care of this guy and bring him in, whatever this trial is going to cost, it's nothing compared to what we're going to lose if we lose Snoop and don't look out for him. Because Russell Simmons and Def Jam was going to steal him. They went and signed Warren G right after, and they was looking to get Snoop and Warren G and everybody. They was going to back up the money truck. And Suge had to go there, and he had to regulate. So Suge didn't like that, you know, what's his name, Warren G went over with Russell. But it's like, dude, you wouldn't give me a deal.
Yeah, what you expect.
So, once they worked everything out, they was able to get, you know, the Nate Dogg approval and all that stuff at Death Row. But back to Snoop. So Suge went and got Jimmy to say, okay, we're going to finance it. So they're paying for Snoop's trial. Snoop's trial costs a lot of money, like millions. I mean, millions, dog. That's how much his lawyer fee, the retainer fees, all the courts and all this stuff, continuance and going back and forth. He had so much going on with that trial. That took up like a year. That case was like over a year old. We looking at all. No, it got resolved in like 96 or 95 around that time. So it was almost 2 years of them fighting that case. So while he doing What's My Name and all this Snoop Doggy Dogg, Murder Was the Case that they gave me. So he's basically doing all these songs. His album is through the roof. Interscope was like, he is not going to jail. They went and pulled every string they could. I mean, to get that resolved. It was a self-defense, and that's what they called it, and that's what they got. The police didn't even try to investigate no more as to nothing else about it. They said, look, This guy was a nobody, a gangbang.
Look at that, bro. Music industry, bro. When you got power like Jimmy Iovine and the Clyde Davises and the Leo Coins, bro, it's like you know the right people, you got the right connections, like nothing can stop you. See, Diddy, he had them connections, bro. But when he tried to go and get ownership of Ciroc and talk down on Ciroc, he went against the grain. Because them liquor companies and oil companies, they one of the richest people up in the world. They part of their circle. Because you want to know how? Because you need the liquor to be promoted on the black people and the white people in the entertainment world. You need oil to be promoted in the black community and in the white community, in the entertainment world. All right, to get people to come by it.
They trying to point him off as a good citizen. He was a gang member, getting ready to make a move on another person.
That's what it looked like, Prime Child.
This was a self-defense. This is Snoop Dogg, the biggest artist in the world. And so at that time, Snoop had that leverage that he was the biggest artist, but he had missed a lot of time. He was gone for a minute because of that trial. So Death Row wasn't really putting out nothing at that time. They were doing like movie soundtracks. Everybody was hitting them off with money, big money for movie soundtracks just for a song. It was like, man, they paying big money. They like, yeah, we got the whole soundtrack, Above the Rim, Friday. You know, everybody was getting involved with Death Row. He was on the West Coast. He was getting all the movie soundtracks. He was getting Death Row. So the money's coming in. Snoop got a house now. Snoop got cars. Snoop got anything he wants. He wants suits. He wants jewelry. He got anything he wants. He called Suge. What you need? How you live? You need some cash? Snoop Dogg. Snoop Doggy Dogg. He come over there. Hit him up. I'm sending a car over there. Tell me what you need. You need that? I got it for you. I'm gonna have him pick it up. I'm gonna have him drop it off to you. You got it. You need 10,000? You need 30,000? You need 50?
Damn shine. So that's how Suge had them niggas. And I ain't gonna lie, that shit have had you in the loophole, knowing you fucking with a nigga, and anything you done to ask this nigga, he'll get it, man. I need a new crib, man. My mama need a crib. Need some cars. He boom, he get it. How much money you got up in your pocket? He go 10,000. Next day come up, another 10,000. Another day come up, he go another 10 or 20,000. Now you got to go do a show, make that money. Now he finna throw you something out there and probably give you another chain, to give you another car, and get you another this. Like all this shit adding up, but it's to keep you in the hole, because he know what type of money he gonna make up off you. So if you ain't asking about too much of nothing, and you a hood street dude, you come from nothing, you ain't got nothing, so you ain't really too much worrying about the money and the contract. You just worry about if your lifestyle gonna be straight. Real talk.
He had it.
That's why Tupac started complaining when he said, "I help you with the Machiavelli stuff." Suge was gonna be the main distributor to help distribute Machiavelli, Tupac music, and the Outlaws, because Suge knew how to make sure that everybody was taken care of when their money came through. You know what I'm saying? For real. See, it's the difference when you getting the money and you ain't taking care of everybody, and people hungry, they struggling, they hurting. Now Suge was sacrificing. He get a $5-10 million check. He put to spend majority of it on making sure these niggas got crib, cars, clothes, shoes, whatever they need, drugs. Long as they got the shit they need to make them feel like they made it, they gonna keep going in the studio because they want to know what next they gonna get. Tell you, shit have had you blind.
He had it. Snoop can tell you to this day, if he's an honest man, he'll tell you right now, if he ever said to Suge, man, I'm like, I need something. Suge was hitting him off every time.
I know it.
Every time. He ain't never tell you, man, I ain't got it. No, you was taken care of. You needed a car, your mama needed this, your daddy needed that, your auntie needed this. Suge had it for you.
All right.
You need a house? I got your mama house. Snoop went from living in Dr. Dre's house to having his own mansion.
Told y'all. I told you. Yep, he broke bread with the people, man, for real. He did what right. Like, yeah, he finessed dudes, didn't pay him right, but he broke bread. See, that what Birdman got that tactic from. When Birdman did Juvenile, BG, and Lil Wayne, Manifest, and them all like that, it came from Suge. Suge was breaking bread with whatever money he was getting back off them companies. And he would make sure these niggas had houses, crib, hood shit to keep a hood nigga mind off worrying about the money. If you getting fed money.
Stuff laid out. Snoop was behind the 8 ball, millions of dollars. And this is what people don't understand. Because they paid for his trial, he was behind the 8 ball. So he felt like, man, I gotta, play ball because these are the dudes that's got, they doing me right.
He gotta play ball because they paid for the lawyers, they paid for their case. So let's say if they had to get the lawyers like $4-5 million to fight their case, Snoop Dogg got to pay back by $10 million, not including Suge still got to get his percentage out of it. So the more everybody get their percentage out of it, the more longer he gonna be in debt. If you understand what I'm saying, and the more he feeding and taking care of, the more his debt will never go down because Suge looking out for you, but he got to make sure he pay Jimmy Iovine them their money back for helping you beat their case. So, nigga, you got to take what I give you, and it is what it is. Because if it weren't for that, you'll be locked up. It had to come down. It had came out that some dude who was locked up was the real owner of Death Row. Yeah, the dude Harry, if I'm not mistaken.
But people was putting bugs in Snoop did. Like, people at Def Jam and everybody else like, man, Snoop, I don't know how they treat me over there. This is what you need to do. Then when Tupac came, it was a shift. Because Tupac was more close to Suge than Snoop ever would be. Snoop was like, you know what I'm saying? Suge was when Tupac got there, he like, man, come on, man, you gotta respect. This is a Snoop house. Snoop built this house, man. Like, come on, Pac, man. It's Snoop house. It's dog house. We built this. So when he got there, Pac was just on some I'm taking over, and he just wasn't going. Snoop was like, yeah, it's like, what I'm saying, it's just like Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, like the Bulls. We just gonna run it like that. But it was a fight over who was gonna be Michael Jordan because Snoop thought he was Michael and Pac was Scottie. Oh, he was wrong. He was dead wrong. Because Pac was every bit of Jordan. And he was every bit of Scottie Pippen. But he didn't see it that way. And that's where the problems is going to come in at. Like, Snoop was supposed to have a big studio to record. And Pac was, man, I need that. Man, they playing around. Because Snoop would take all day recording something.
That nigga Pac was on some more shit talking about, man, I need it. They playing around. That boy, that Pac crazy as a motherfucker, gang. R.I.P. to Pac, man. That nigga, that's crazy.
Your perfectionist like Dre. So they'll, chill out, smoke, and do all that. Pac ain't that way. Pac want it done now. He'll been in there and hit it and knock it out the park and like, look, let's get it mixed. Like all these guys work with it and do what they got to do. Let's hit the next song. Get it ready. Y'all got to keep up with me. That's how Pac style was. So when everybody else came on board, they came walking in the door. Pac started getting high and drinking, and Suge was more hanging with Pac because Pac energy and everything else. M.O.B. That bad boy and Puffy, and that's all Suge want to hear anyway. Anybody talking that's right up his alley. So Dre leaves and shake the spot. Dre the enemy, and Dre ain't take nobody with him. And Snoop is like, whoa, hold on now, Dre gone. Like he just up and left and then like disappeared. So Snoop was like, there was no conversation. He ain't answer no phone. He just left.
Man, I would have reached out. I don't give a fuck. You ain't got to conversate, nigga. Where you at? I'm going to reach out, nigga. I'm going to go to your people who know your people who know your people. Yeah, I'm coming where you at, nigga.
And it's like, man, dog, you ain't even talk to me. Like we were like the tag team, Snoop and Dre. So Snoop getting ready, he working on his album, Dogfather album. And they like, yeah, like we back. We finna roll with Snoop. We gonna have Tupac. We don't need Drake. We got Pac. We got Snoop, the two biggest artists in the world. And that's all we need. Death Row gonna be all right. So Pac had no problem attacking Dre anytime he wanted, but Snoop had a problem with that. Like, hey, I ain't finna be attacking no Dre. Like, Dr. Dre had me sleeping on his, on the couch and the floors and stuff. Like, I'm in the game because of Dre. So people always looked at everybody Dre brought in that was still at Death Row. Like, you want to go with Dre? Going with Dre means you finna get the worst beat down of all time. Like Samuel Sneed, he brought Sam Sneed over there. Sneed, like, I'm stuck here and don't know what's going on. Like, I'm just left here, no project coming out of nothing. Def Jam tried to work with, Death Row, but it wasn't gonna happen. So, Snoop was trying to lead Death Row back then, but he felt like I got to play my role because these dudes looked out for me during my trial. He wanted to leave before Tupac got there.
You can't leave though, because you got to pay them their money back for their trial.
Actually,
I think Master P paid them their fee, bro. When Master P had their bread, Master P had been worked out something with him. He paid their fee to let Suge get free. Let Snoop Dogg get free.
He really wanted to leave before Pac showed up. Because he was like, man, my money ain't right, and I felt like I should have had this, but he's like, man, they paying for my trial. So I got to play the position. I got to sit here and play the role. And that's what he did. He sat there, he played his position, he played his role. And when it came down to it, when the Dogfather came out, he was like, all right, Snoop, it's his turn to rule. Dogfather came out, Pac died. And after him and Pac had that beef, it was real friction between Snoop and Suge. Like for the first time, because he was more in line with Pac. He was like, man, this dude want to be friends with Puffy him and all this stuff. And he's like, man, I told him about that already. He came to me with that. Like, let's sit down, let's talk to him. Ain't nothing to talk about.
But you got to see what Suge would come. What Snoop Dogg was coming from, bro. Snoop probably didn't really have no smoke with Big. And he know he doing bidding with y'all, so it's guilty by association. But if Snoop could have got them to kill it, bro, Pac and Big probably would have been the two best duos that we heard in the game.
Puff want to get in the room with me and talk to me like a real man. Me and him can squash it, but he don't want to do that because he ain't a real man. So that was basically it with that. So like I said, that was the last time he saw Pac. Pac ended up dying. So Snoop was the last remaining big artist, and he was happy with that because now he's like, I'm back being a man. And now it's back now show. So Snoop was comfortable. No more talking, leaving the road and all that stuff. He was comfortable. He felt like I'm in a good position here now. Dogfather's album come out. Don't Do It. It really was projected to do it, did like 2 million sales, but nothing like what they thought was going to happen with Death Row. And then people didn't like the record, the album. They just like, man, this album sucked. Snoop then lost it. DOC had shipped the spot, so there was nobody to really like guide or mentor Snoop doing that album. There was no Dre. It was mostly just Daz. So after all this, it was like, okay, what we do next? So what they do next is the next best thing. Switch it all around. Let's switch stuff up. Snoop is now unhappy, and Suge is in jail for the incident that happened with Pac. Oh, it's time for me to shake the spot. It's time for me to go. So once Snoop decided, okay, this ain't working, I gotta go, do my own thing.
And there's another thing I don't understand. How he get charged for what happened to Pac, bro? How he get charged for what happened to Pac and he got hit too? He got scraped in the
head. I'm leaving Death Row. He got to deal with Master P. That was it. He was like, yeah, I got this deal and I'm done. And they had to sit down and negotiate it. But before that, he was like, I'm up. And he was trying to keep it quiet. He did a little performance at Nickelodeon at the park. Got jumped, and they put the hands on him. Because, see, here's the thing. Daz is going to come with him. Daz is on his way. Like, yo, I'm going with you, fam. And Corrupt was already gone. Corrupt left and was like, I'm in love. I'm moving to New York. So he's over there with Foxy Brown in love. And then everybody over here was like, all right, we'll forget Corrupt. He gone. But on this side, it was on some other stuff. Over here, it was like, look, you left the row. You weren't supposed to lead the row. You snuck out and signed with Master P, and Master P and them got him paid. So Snoop was like, whoa, I'm paid now. So Snoop had to get protection after they jumped him. They tried to set him up and shoot him at a swap meet and all kind of stuff. So he had to get like 24-hour protection from Master P, and P had to call, on Suge hey, this P. Look, man, we both from the hood, whatever. You know, we both grinding. You do you grinding, Snoop grinding. We all come from nothing, man. Well, let's cut out all the nonsense, cause I ain't scared, bro. But once he told Suge he wasn't scared, Suge, nah, it ain't about that. It's about respect. But you want to talk business? We'll get Reggie, and we'll come down here. We'll work something out. So they worked something out, and from then he thought it'd be over, but it wasn't, because in certain areas, like him being, protected wasn't happening. And what Snoop didn't realize is that he was being paid, but he wasn't in control of like his content. He got albums he got to deliver. So he was delivering albums, and he was like, that's it.
They
I'm
were
gonna start
getting
doing
paid out
my own record company, Doggy Style Records. So, I ain't had nobody else eating off me. I get to eat on my own, so I could start doing my own thing. And he just watched how Master P did his thing. And he's like, all right, cool, I'm gonna do mine. He got his boys that got out of jail, the East Siders, and they gonna roll. Well, Suge wasn't gonna let that happen. Once you lead a road one way, man. And Suge felt betrayed because he did a lot for Snoop. He went to bat a lot of times for Snoop. And Snoop, anything.
Hey, hold on. Yeah, what y'all think, bro? I'm gonna be real. To me, that man did go over back for Snoop, bro. He went to Jimmy Iovine, Interscope, and them and asked them to pay for the lawyers just so he can beat it, just because they knew they were gonna capitalize and triple their money that they spent on Snoop. They gonna see that back and plus a little bit more. Real talk. So I feel Suge on this.
He wanted, he had it. Snoop wanted to see his records. And like, let me see the paperwork. I want to know how much money I'm making, how much money coming in. And they was like, whoa, brother, you signed away your publishing a long time ago when we signed you, and we gave you that money for an advance money for the court case for your murder trial. The record company paid for it. Interscope paid for your murder trial. You signed away the publishing to cover that, and he didn't know what he was doing when he did it. So it was like, look, Jeff Roden put that money up for you. We went and helped acquire the money for you. So, for those services and all the stuff rendered, you owe money. So that covered it. So your money was going into royalties, was going back to the record company for the murder trial.
See?
And Snoop didn't understand that.
Told you, whatever he made, it was going back to the royalties and going back to them people who helped him beat that murder trial.
He thought like, man, all the money I made, that should have covered it, And that's how people who's uneducated about business, that's how their reaction is. Look, man, I made enough money. I sold a lot of records over here. What do you mean I still owe? It's like, dude, your bill is your bill. What you owe is what you owe. You signed over your royalties. Nobody made you do that. You did it on your own. So don't get mad at everybody because you did that. So he was mad that Tupac had his royalties. Like, oh, Tupac can get his own thing, but I can't. He can get his own record label. I can't.
He ain't had time to enjoy the record label.
Probably got it too. But anyway,
Tupac ain't had time to enjoy Machiavelli, enjoy the artist, see the project or nothing, because he was taken out.
After all this, they had a Source Awards fight. Now, before that, Dre got punched in the face when he was there with Snoop and all that stuff.
It's crazy.
This big Source Award fight, once Dre got Eminem, and he kind of dug him out the cellar and rejuvenated his career with Eminem. They was like putting their wheels and the screws in Eminem to try to get him to sway. But here's the problem. You got Jimmy Iovine to deal with now.
Oh, it came up at the end, man.
And I ain't about to let none of it get blown. Definitely not this Eminem money. So, y'all, you can cancel that. So, pretty much all these attempted assaults and everything else, Snoop came out with Pimp Slap when he was this song against against Suge, because he got the East Siders with him. And them boys got rumbled at that Source Awards, boy. The Mob Pirus put a beating on them. Whew. Merciless.
I told y'all he was there.
Some big linebacker straight out the
Carsino was there.
I mean, they wasn't playing no games. So they knew then, like, oh, okay, we can't do these type of setups no more. So finally, as the years went by and situations was different, Snoop position got more solidified, more solid people came up to back him as far as the Crips. and he was really cripped out. So he had support from some of the biggest Crips in the world. And Suge was like, they couldn't really pull it no more. They done it. And it was like, okay, you had your shots then, you didn't get it. Now let's sit down like men and let's really talk this out. And it's at a point now that Suge was like, man, let's talk. And they sat down and talked, and they came like 3 hours of conversation, cleared up a life, like years and years of BS. And right now they in a good space to this day. And that's a blessing. Because
But Suge still be
they
saying
come out with a
stuff.
Death Row movie, and they got support from Suge and Snoop.
But we gonna kill it right there, bro. We gonna kill it right there. Hey, tomorrow I'm gonna come with something else different. I'm gonna see how it gonna play. I'm gonna have to do a test run before I go live, gang. I don't know why it's lagging. I got the Ethernet cord plugged up to my computer, so I still don't know why it's lagging, bro. But I appreciate everybody who rocked out with me tonight. Appreciate everybody, bro. Salute to everybody who something gifted. Salute to everybody who just tapped in every night, bro. I'm gonna see y'all tomorrow. I'm gonna try to drop a video and a short tomorrow during the daytime before it get too late. But I appreciate y'all. If you smell what real life, TV is cooking, they got over on me tonight. I'm gonna have to change my title to this whole thing. I'm gonna change it, but I'm gonna see y'all tomorrow, bro. And I appreciate y'all for rocking out with me, gang. Appreciate y'all.